At the moment, the black-robed Subdharma protector could not help shaking. How did he provoke this man? The messenger is always by my side. He went to the entrance just now, but he didn't come back. Maybe he was killed by you. Shangguan and his wife were stunned. They just killed those people. They didn't feel that something was wrong. How could they kill them? That person seems to be a phoenix. I don't know why he came to me, and he always haunted me. I don't know what his identity is in the phoenix family this time. He went to look for information everywhere. When he learned that there was an entrance here, he came to me to look for it together. The black-robed Subdharma honestly entertained everything he knew. Phoenix? Shangguan and Shangguan were more puzzled. When they killed those people, they didn't think too much about it, but they certainly didn't kill the phoenix people. Is missed one? Shangguan and Situlan thought of this at the same time, raised their heads fiercely, and saw the dignified in each other's eyes. No. If you let that person escape, I'm afraid the entrance will be found. They have no doubt that the people of the Phoenix clan will betray the Phoenix clan and take refuge in the Beast Gate. After all, the current Phoenix clan is like a bereaved dog. At the peak of the Phoenix clan thousands of years ago, the priests were able to betray the Phoenix clan and help the Dark Beast. Now in this situation, there are only a few people who are afraid to go to the Beast Gate. Aware of this, both of them look very bad. The black-robed Subdharma guard saw that he had finished this, but the other side had no voice for a long time. He also knew that they were shocked, so he waited for them with peace of mind. But after waiting for a long time, I didn't wait for anything. Finally, I couldn't help but ask that I've answered all the questions. Can I go now? Shangguan gave him a cold look, which was totally different from Shangguan, who was so irascible and didn't care about his image. Seeing this, he sneered. Go? Of course, I can give you a ride. The black-robed Subdharma protector was stunned and said, No, I'll go by myself. Ah. Then he got up from the ground and wanted to leave. As soon as he stood up, the palm of his hand turned and a silver light appeared in his palm. Then he moved quickly. He felt a flower in front of his eyes, and then he fell down. After solving the last problem, Shangguan clapped his hands and did not look at it, as if he had not killed him just now. Now what? That man will certainly report. Shangguan frowned and asked. It's disgusting. I missed one. Situlan's face was also calm. That man's mind was unfathomable. In that case, he could escape. Obviously, he found us. For the sake of today's plan, we must go to the underground palace as soon as possible, tell them the news, and then discuss the countermeasures together. Either we should prepare for the confrontation in advance, or we should move out as soon as possible. Move out. Easy to say. So many people at this time. Here was watched by the people of the Beast Gate. How to move out quietly. Is it the only way to fight? What if you blow up that entrance? How about a new entrance? Shangguan's eyes lit up and suddenly thought of this. Situlan looked at Shangguan helplessly, and suddenly felt that his IQ was so low. What those people are looking for is just an entrance. They're looking for the underground palace, okay? What's the use of changing the entrance? As long as the underground palace is still there, it will be found sooner or later. Shangguan thought that what Situlan said was reasonable. Why did he suddenly become stupid? Of course, he won't admit it himself. Come on, go back first and tell them the news. I don't think the 10,000 Beast Gate is like a massive attack, and I don't know that they and we are both here, so it's difficult to swallow the underground palace of the Phoenix clan. Situlan's words finally played a consoling role. Shangguan nodded and said nothing more. Then they flew to the underground palace. This time, in the face of two people hesitated for a long time. Doghole no longer hesitated, one before another after the drill-in. Originally, I thought it was just a dog's hole, and the access to it must be very difficult. But when I went in, I found that the passageway inside was large enough for two people to walk side by side. It looked like a cave inhabited by ordinary warcraft. There was nothing unusual about it. Shangguan almost thought that they were wrong. Go ahead and have a look, said Situlan, taking the lead to go inside. After walking all the way in, we finally arrive at a round cave, in which there are some nests made of hay branches. Is this just a nest? Are we really wrong? Shangguan looked at this place with a confused face. Emotion just wasted so much energy, just in order not to let them find the Cave of Warcraft? Situlan didn't speak. He went in and looked around, but he didn't find anything. It was revealed everywhere that this was a temporary nest made by Warcraft in order to hatch its offspring. Is it really wrong? Situlan frowned and said in a low voice. The sight turns around the cave again, but nothing is found. It looks like a mistake. Let's go, Situlan said. Let's go to other places. With that, they turned and walked out. After drilling the dog hole, he found that he was white again. He had a big secret of the spy in his heart. He couldn't laugh. Compared with just coming here, he was in two moods. Situlan meditated all the way, not knowing what he was thinking. Suddenly, the step that is going out stops fiercely. Situlan grabbed the Shangguan beside him. Wait a minute. Shangguan was unprepared and nearly fell to the ground. What are you doing? Suddenly Pulmi Situlan directly ignored Shangguan's attitude and said in a hurry. Let's go back and have a look. I seem to know where else I haven't seen. After that, regardless of whether the Shangguan agreed or not, he directly dragged him back. What do you find? Didn't you see all the poisons just now? What do you think? Shangguan was dragged all the way mumbling. Oh, you slow down, that cave can't run. It was dark in the passage, but Situlan was not affected at all. He kept walking forward, and he didn't answer whatever the Shangguan said behind him. He looks unpredictable. Finally, they went back to the cave again, and Situlan released Shangguan's hand. What's wrong with you? As soon as the hand was released, the Shangguan glared and roared. He was red on his wrist, and now he was rubbing his mouth. But Situlan didn't pay any attention to him at all. He hurried forward to the temporary nest made of branches and hay and stared at it with burning eyes. With a wave of his hand, the nest was lifted directly, revealing a flat land below, which was plain. Shangguan then understood what Situlan wanted to do. He came forward to have a look, but he didn't find anything. Nothing. The tone was rather schadenfreude. Situlan gave him a white look, and went forward to touch the ground with his hand. Suddenly he touched a bulge. When Situlan pressed his hand, the cave was full of light. There was a surprise in Situlan's eyes. Found it? Shangguan said in surprise. I saw the light blooming, just placed in the hay nest. A circular array slowly emerged. They looked at each other, and went up together. The round array was a transmission array. Soon after they stood up, they felt a sense of vertigo, and then they came back. A moment later, when the two figures appeared again, they came to a strange place. As soon as they appeared, they felt that several eyes were shooting at them, full of vigilance. When the light dissipated, it was found that there were dozens of guards next to the transmission array, looking at this side with weapons on their faces. Shangguan and the guards looked at each other. Human. The head of the other party came over and looked at them. It was not clear whether they were friendly or not. After all, the Phoenix people didn't like human beings. In the past, I was afraid that I would fight directly when I saw human beings, but I don't know why. Although I'm not happy, I still try my best to show my friendliness. Well. Situlan nodded and said, Can there be two human beings here? One is Nangong, the other is Chiesi. Yes. The guard looked them up and down and could not help but ask, Are you Situlan and the superior? As soon as the Shangguan heard that the other party was able to call his name taboo, he grinned and went forward directly regardless of the dislike in the other party's eyes. Happily said, So you have heard our name? Yes. Did they tell you to wait for us here? I can tell you that we have something important to tell your boss this time. Shangguan. Seeing Shangguan here, he almost relaxed his vigilance. Although he knew he would not tell the secret, he was still a little frightened. Situlan quickly stopped him. The guard was puzzled by Shangguan's pass and looked at them helplessly. Fortunately, at this time, Situlan came out, looking like an elegant young man, and said to the guard, I'm sorry, he's always abnormal. Take us to Nangong first. Who do you think is abnormal? Shangguan a stare. Situlan directly ignored him. Then the two men went to the deep under the guidance of the guard. This seems to be a very deep underground palace. The reason why we conclude this is that all the lighting here is equipped, not the sun in the sky. Situlan looked up and didn't see the sky. The underground palace is more like an underground site. There is no grand palace, but a large space in the deep underground, in which several places for living are built, just like a slum, crowded and messy. Has the Phoenix family been reduced to this level now? Shangguan was shocked to see what he saw along the way. They have been hiding here for half a year, and the physical wounds caused by the original disaster have healed. But everyone's heart has hatred, so big Phoenix family, now unexpectedly only this shelter. How can not hate? It seems that after hearing the words of Shangguan, the man who led the way for them turned around and said, "Those hateful beasts, if I have a chance, I will break them to pieces." Shangguan, two people look at each other, can't help but silence down. They can understand the hatred that is almost equivalent to extermination. Now Phoenix has become like this, but we have not given up. As the guide walked forward, he said to them, "This place is not big, but it was even smaller when it was just established. Even under such circumstances, we also set aside a place for cultivation, waiting for one day to go out and fight them to the death." Shangguan and his wife were shocked by this. Even if they are reduced to the present situation, they don't want to escape. Instead, they are willing to muddle along and seek revenge. They can't help but change their impression of the Phoenix family. Several people walked all the way to the depth, and finally stopped at a place slightly larger than other houses. "Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, please wait a moment." Then the man went in. Shangguan and his wife are helpless when they look at the situation around them. It's quite different from the original Feng Huangshan palace. If you're not wrong, the house in front of you should be for Feng Huangv. Now it's used to entertain Nangong and Nangong. I'm afraid it's just crowded out of each other. Near the houses are places where ordinary people live, with no boundaries. There is no resplendence, no complicated etiquette, there is just a time of adversity. Perhaps, after this time, the future Phoenix will be more united. That's what they both thought. Shangguan. Situlan. A moment later, the guide didn't come out. On the contrary, Nangong and Nangong came out. Looking at the people they hadn't seen for several days, they were a little happy. If you are always not so excited, but for many days in a row in the Phoenix suppressed atmosphere of life, at this time finally see their friends, cannot be excited? But Nangong and Chi Yis are cold-tempered people. Even if they are happy, they will not be too happy. "Come on, let's go in." Several people went into the room, and called several elders of the Phoenix family to come. It seemed that they wanted to say something important. Then they let all the people who didn't want to do it back out. Until then, Shangguan said all they knew. "What did you say? Traitor within the clan?" After listening to Shangguan's story, an elder directly stares at the table, and stands up. "No way. How can there be a traitor when the Phoenix clan, and the people of the 10,000 Beast sect, are already dead together?" "Elder Bai, sit down first. Don't be so excited." Another man quickly began to persuade, while also smiling to Shangguan and others to explain. "Sorry, let you laugh, Bai Changlao always has a bad temper." Shangguan snorted and said, "Believe it or not, it's a matter of your family. We're not Phoenix. We don't have to worry about it. Will blame us if anything happens." Shangguan's words embarrassed everyone present. Now if the Phoenix have a poor chance of winning against tens of thousands of beasts, it will be up to these humans. If they offend people now, they can't stand it. Shangguan's nature is careless. What he can't stand most is that these smelly Phoenix think they are noble and don't look at anyone. If it wasn't for Yunwu, he would be too lazy to intervene. "Don't be angry, young Xia. He didn't mean it. It's just that we Phoenix have always been proud of ourselves. Even if we were caught by the Beast Gate and killed, we would not join them. Now it's said that it's really impossible for them to take refuge in other people for the sake of good clothes and good food. What's more, it's the Beast Gate that has a grudge against us." Another said with a smile. "They think they are full of words, and their attitude is very polite. They all say that they don't smile, so they can't help it, can they? But it's a pity that Shangguan and Situlan are used to being at ease, and they don't like this, while Nangong and Sealan are indifferent to everything." Therefore, the elder's words were not supported, but were ridiculed by the superior. Well, don't do that with me, old man. I don't care whether you believe it or not. Anyway, it's the life and death of the Phoenix clan. Don't believe it. Don't regret what happened because of that traitor. The faces of the people who said what Shangguan said were blue and white. Although they were not willing to believe what Shangguan said, they were not afraid of 10,000 just in case. If it is true, there will be inestimable consequences. I think we should let the traitors go now, Situlan said. What's important now is the teams outside looking for the entrance. After Situlan reminded them, they realized what the most urgent task was. If you don't want to go to war now, do it right away. The teleport array, if we can come in, then the people of the Beast Gate will also be able to come in. Xiao Wu and your saint don't know when they will be here. Now we are at war, do you think there's a chance of winning? Newspaper. The sound of guards' announcement sounded outside the door. Elder Bai frowned. What's the matter? Don't you say that we're in business now, so don't disturb us? The guard outside the door is clever. He knows that the elder is always irritable. Unexpectedly, he has got moldy. At the moment, he has to harden his head and report aloud. Elders, the saint is back. Shangguan, several people fiercely stood up from the position. So Xiaowu is back? What? Is the virgin back? White long old eyes a lung. A palm clap on the table, angrily said. Such a big thing, how now to report? Anyone here? Have you come in, please? The guard thought he was wronged. He just reprimanded him for coming to report, but now he is too late to report. Elder Hui, I've got him in. I'm going this way. The subordinates came in first to report. The implication is that he didn't slack off. Should he be satisfied? However, it was not the elder's words that answered him, but the door suddenly opened, and several figures flying out in succession, with extremely fast speed. When the guard reacted, the figures had already gone out for a while, and could not see clearly. Tell me about you. You didn't let us go to meet you in person. You are the only one to lead the way. Didn't you neglect the saint? Elder Bai came out from the inside, and gave another admonition to the guard. He flew to the direction of the transmission array with other elders in a hurry, leaving the guard standing in the same place helplessly. Little 5. Little dance. 4 figures schwa fall in front of Yunwu, looking at her with a happy face. You finally come back. Cloud Dance's face showed a smile. You all do well. There was a smile on their faces. Of course there is nothing I can't do, and there is a surprise. Shangguan said with pride. He wanted to tell the traitor about it, but suddenly he remembered that the traitor was a member of the Phoenix clan. His honest words would be heard, and he swallowed them back. Saint, you are back? Several figures rushed to this side. Originally, they were slower than the 4 of Shangguan, and they arrived at this time later. In front of them, they went straight to Feng Huingve, with excited faces. Seeing the elder of the clan whom she hadn't seen for a long time, Feng Huangnu also gave a slight smile, and then changed her face. It's urgent. Let's go back first. Having said that, the party went to the meeting room one after another. This time, with the participation of Feng Huingve and Yunfei, there was no more quarrel. Yunfei analyzed the current situation in a few simple words. About tomorrow, the people in the valley will come, and the other strongholds will be almost the same. Feng Huangnu said simply. On the way here, I saw many people from the Beast Gate. Although they escaped all the way, it seemed that they were looking for the underground palace. So we have to deal with it as soon as possible, or they will be in trouble if they find it here. After all, there are many women and children here. The elders nodded and told the story of the traitor. I believe it. Cloud Dance bowed his head and pondered for a moment, and first proposed. That spy must not know the location of the underground palace, otherwise he would bring someone directly. In that case, don't worry for the time being. What do you mean? Feng Huingve turns her head and looks at Yunwu, hoping to get instructions from her. Otherwise, she really has no confidence in dealing with the Beast Gate. Cloud Dance mouth a hook way. Since they can't wait to find us, then we take the initiative to appear, to fight with them. Don't forget, attack is the best defense. As soon as Shangguan and others see Yunwu's appearance, they know that she already has an idea. They can't help but make an appearance of listening attentively. Yunwu lowered her voice and explained her plan in detail. The light flickered, and then several figures appeared in the transmission array. Until the light dissipated, several people came out of it. Once again set foot on the land of the virgin forest, the figure of Cloud Dance all appeared. There are so many tasks. Yunwu decides not to keep them. The first battle against the Beast Gate is only allowed to win, not to lose. Go Cloud Dance a cold drink. The first start to fly towards somewhere in the forest. And a few other people who followed behind also spread out one after another. Each found a direction to fly. All over the forest, the 10,000 beast men don't know that this game of hunting between hunters and their prey has officially started, and they are the targeted prey. In the silent forest, from time to time came the roar of beasts, mixed with the sound of wind and the sound of knowing rate walking in it. A bunch of rubbish. Still can't find it. A black robe angrily pointed at a group of people in front of him and scolded. How many days have you been looking for it? Can't even find an entrance? What else can you do? Dharma Protector, maybe there is no entrance at all in the place we share. A 10,000 beast door person says with a sad face. If you want to find an entrance to such a big forest, there must be only one team that can find it. Other teams are basically furnishings. The man in black also felt that what he said was reasonable, but he was worried, so he didn't have a good face on his face. How do you know that you're not here? I tell you, it's right here. Keep looking. If you don't have one here, just go to the east. You have to find him for me. Yes, all the people are worried, but they just cheer up and slowly expand the search scope to the east. They dare not stop for a moment. But the man in black who scolded them directly found a comfortable place and sat on the soft grass. A bunch of rubbish. Murmuring and cursing, the black-robed man relaxed his vigilance, narrowed his eyes and began to rest. Yunwu looks at the person sitting under the tree and falls down from the tree, with a big black flame knife shining in his hand. Slowly close to the black-robed man, Cloud Dance figure quickly move, directly in front of the black-robed man. The man in black had no idea. A cold light flashed by. Yunwu wiped the big knife on his hand directly, and his hand rose and fell. A round head fell directly to the ground. Even when he fell, he still kept sleeping. Even the body sitting under the tree still didn't move. Quickly solved a person. Cloud Dance eyebrows are not wrinkled, and then just toward the east patrol people chase. As a result, many heads fell, and Yunwu felt like a butcher. There are 50 teams in the whole forest. It has been a long time since Yunwu killed all of them. Originally, I wanted to kill them one by one, but I thought that the 10,000 beasts would gather every day. If I killed them in this way, I would not be able to kill them in the evening, and I would scare the snake. To understand this, Yunwu immediately decided to kill only the leaders. If you can destroy a master, you can destroy a master. Otherwise, when you fight, a master will be able to deal with countless enemies. After making the decision, the speed was much faster. Soon, Yunwu killed 5 Dharma protectors in succession and cleaned up the corpses, so that those people would not find that their Dharma protectors were dead. The strength of these 5 people is also uneven, but one is stronger than the other, until they meet the 6th Dharma protector. Black Flame Dagger attacks quickly. The attack that should have been cut on the Dharma protector's neck is blocked by a dark breath. Cloud Dance. The resident in the black robe looks at Yunwu with a big knife. He once saw her in the Phoenix clan. He knows that this woman and her partner are very difficult to deal with. The key is that the patriarch wants to kill them all the time. I recognize her at the first sight when I see her again. Oh, I even know me. It seems that I have a great reputation in the Beast Gate, even a nobody knows. Cloud Dance carries a big knife and looks at the black-robed man in front of him happily. Just now, she can clearly feel that the strength of this person is different from the previous several. If you don't guess wrong, the strength of the Dharma protector sent this time can rank in the top 3. What a strong opponent, Cloud Dance thought in the heart. A sense of war inexplicably don't inspire out. She likes challenge most at present. The more powerful her opponent is, the more she likes it. Nobody. As soon as the man in black robe heard Cloud Dance describe him like this, he was very angry. He is the third Dharma protector in the Beast Gate. Who can't be polite to him? To Cloud Dance here has become a nobody? Arrogance. Then I will defeat you today. After that, the man in black robe was not polite. As soon as he turned his hand, a strange-looking weapon appeared in his hand. The weapon was wrapped with a black disgusting fog, as if it had a strong corrosive effect. Cloud Dance's eyes sank. Now the battle is not to disturb more people. So she didn't summon her own summoner. In fact, even if it wasn't because of this, she seldom used summoner. After all, her strength also needs to be improved. At this time, seeing the black fog on the black-robed man's weapon, and looking at his own ancient sword burning with black flame, Yunwu can't help but wonder, whose black is more powerful? Without the slightest hesitation, Yunwu rushed up directly with a big knife on her shoulder, fighting close to her, but she was never afraid. The collision between weapons arouses bursts of fire, and then disappears into the black. The black flame and the black fog entangle each other, and no one will let anyone. The black-robed man is a killer everywhere. He has no mercy in his hands. He knows how much he has done to kill this person. And Cloud Dance is also excited by the deadly move. Two people fight very happy, but everywhere contains crisis. A careless can take the other party's life. Bang, is the sound of weapon collision. Cloud figure quickly back, hair some scattered, forehead also has a fine sweat, but a pair of eyes are bright. If it's another time, I will definitely fight with you for a while, but now I don't have so much time, so I won't accompany you. There are still some regrets when the cold voice of Cloud Dance comes. It's just that looking at the man in black is like looking at a dead man. The black-robed man was stunned. Is this woman still reserved? Cloud Dance seizes the chance of the black-robed man's stupefaction and takes back the black flame sword directly. With two hands turned, two fire elements appeared in the palm. Taking advantage of the empty space of fire elements, Yunwu directly bullied the body and patted the black-robed man on the chest. The black robe was very surprised. He quickly took up his weapon and put it in front of his chest. The weapon with cold light was facing the clouds. The Clinker and Cloud Dance seemed to have expected it for a long time. Instead of patting on the chest of the man in black robe, they turned over the head of the man in black robe with a somersault. At the moment of turning around, the palm of the hand was mercilessly patted on the back of the man in black robe, and the fire element on the palm also took the opportunity to slip in. The black-robed man turned and looked at Yunwu in disbelief. It seemed that she could penetrate the fire element into her body. Yunwu stood there quietly with a light hook on the corner of his mouth and said pop silently. The next second, the black-robed man only felt a bang on his chest. An explosion from his body completely made him unconscious, and then he fell to the ground with a thump. Cloud Dance looked at his reaction without any surprise, but suddenly thought of it. Now that she has broken through Wuzuan, one element is so powerful. If she integrates 2, 3 or even more elements together, wouldn't it be more powerful? With this idea, Cloud Dance instantly excited up, rushed to find the next target. Therefore, I didn't find that on a tree not far away. A figure watched her leave all the time before flying out of the forest. Evening. All the inspectors in the Warcraft forest returned to the edge of the forest. From time to time in the forest, they could see the fast-moving 10,000 beast men, but no one found the cloud-dancing people hidden in a tree. It doesn't look like they'll soon find someone ambushing them in the forest. Shangguan feels his chin thoughtfully. It's hard to start next time, but we have achieved a lot today. Among the 50 teams, more than half of the leaders and Dharma protectors were wiped out, and some ordinary disciples were also wiped out because they discovered their actions. Satisfied? Your request is too low. Situlan looked at Shangguan with disdain. Cloud Dance nest in the arms of Dragon Qing Evil. Lazy to talk to them, Lazy said. Tonight they will know our ambush plan. Presumably tomorrow we'll send more experts. As soon as Shangguan heard Yunwu speak, he was directly attracted to the past. Regardless of Situlan's disdain, he said excitedly, "What about the Jiapai experts? Come on, I'll kill one." Long Qingxia smiles and shakes his head. "You think too much. Little thing means we don't have to ambush tomorrow." "Ah, no more?" Shangguan, Situlan, and Mengbai were stunned at the same time. Yunwu shrank into the dragon's evil arms with satisfaction. Sure enough, he could understand what he meant best. Tomorrow they will strengthen their vigilance and disperse their strength into the forest, so their local defense will be relatively reduced. Tomorrow, we'll go to the stronghold. What did you say? In a camp outside the forest, countless 10,000 beastmen set up camp in it. All the people sent out gathered in the evening, but they found that more than half of the teams lost their leaders. What's more, the whole team didn't come back. Hearing the news, a big Dharma protector stormed away on the spot. Looking at the trembling people kneeling on the ground below, he was not angry. Take me at once. Yes, on a piece of open space, groups of 10,000 beastmen stood neatly on it. In front of them stood more than a dozen Dharma protectors dressed in black. There were hundreds of people when they started in the early morning, and now there are only half of them. However, the front row of Dharma guards is not even half of them. When the Dharma protector came out with people, he just took a look and knew that they were right. The team sent out were badly injured. Anger burned in the chest, as if to burn the whole person to half ashes. The deputy patriarch gave him this task. Let him lead people to find the entrance of the underground palace, stop the resistance of the Phoenix family, and take the opportunity to attack the underground palace and capture the disabled party. But now, without finding their entrance to the underground palace, they already have such damage. If you let the deputy master know, I'm afraid it's hard for him to stay. Brother, the third one didn't come back. After looking for a long time, the second Dharma protector standing on one side finally spoke out the bad news. The big Dharma protector's eyelids jumped fiercely and asked in disbelief. What did you say? The third didn't come back? Yes. The brow of the second Dharma protector frowned more tightly. He had to take the team to get involved himself. He was supposed to go out and play, but he didn't expect to come back now. With his team, there was only one person left. He said that he suddenly disappeared, and he didn't know why. The big Dharma protector's face was gloomy. Looking at the people who were cowering because of his appearance, he roared angrily. Go to find the third Dharma protector. Live to see people, die to see corpses. Yes, there is someone under the command immediately. Turn around and go to look for it. Don't go. The cold man's voice rang out. And then a figure came out. The 3 Dharma protectors are dead. Hiss. As soon as the man's words were finished, the scene was instantly quiet, and the sobs of all the people could be heard clearly. 3 Dharma guards are dead. That's the most powerful master here, besides the big Dharma protector and the second Dharma protector. How could he die like this? And like everyone else, death is silent. Although they had guessed the fate for a long time, when they heard the exact answer from the man, the 2 Dharma protectors couldn't stand it. Now they couldn't stand it. It was their own brothers. To die like this? At the moment, the Dharma protector directly looked at the man with a cold face and asked, How do you know? The man didn't fear like others because of the big Dharma protector's ugly face. Instead, he said faintly, When he was killed, I was nearby. I just saw it. It was the humans who killed him. The truth came out. The Dharma protector only thought that he should have guessed that day. He didn't think of the scene of a riot at the gate of the mountain. The body has been disposed of. Even if we look for it, we can't find it. Instead of thinking about that, think about how to deal with them. It's not too late to kill them for revenge when the Phoenix clan has won it. Man's tone is always light, as if nothing can make him have extra emotional fluctuations. Cloud dance. The Dharma protector spits out the name in his heart, and his killing intention is more and more deep. It's planted on this man again and again, but it can't be chased. Now there is another third man's life. One day he will tear that human to pieces. The Dharma protector felt uncomfortable, but he knew what the man said was right. He settled down and said, Huang, come in. Then he turned and entered the room. The second Dharma protector and the man named Huang looked at each other, and then walked into the room together. This is the beginning of a secret conversation. Huang. Yunwu sat in a tree and watched the man called Huang go in. He read his name thoughtfully, then pulled the sleeves of the people around him and asked, Do you think he is the traitor? I see him like a phoenix. Long Qingxie rescued Yunwu's sleeve from his hand, held her in his arms and said, "It should be, but I don't know what role he plays in the Phoenix clan. The name of Huang, it must not be true." Yunwu nodded, and sure enough, what Long Qingxie thought was the same as what she thought. "Hey, forget about the traitor. What are we going to do next?" Shangguan rubbed his hands and asked anxiously. They came here from the depths of the forest, but Yunwu said that he would bring them to play more fun. Otherwise, it would be more fun to fight guerrilla warfare like in the daytime? Cloud Dance gave him a clear look and said, "Tonight is just an appetizer, this temporary stronghold. Let's just make a little fuss. Tomorrow is the most important thing, so save me some energy and don't make too much noise." Don't worry, I've got a sense of propriety," Shangguan said excitedly. Just looking at him now, where does it seem to be measured? Si Tulan and Meng Bai look at him suspiciously. Night came and the sky was dark. After a long day's work, the people of the Beast sect had a rest early, leaving the night patrol staff. The next day there were more important inspections to do, plus a busy day, so all the people in the Beast Gate fell asleep. Until midnight, those figures who had been lurking in the tree did not move, finally took action. Like a cheetah lurking in the dark, he stares at the target with a murderous eye, waiting for the best opportunity to kill. In addition to Cloud Dance, Shangguan had no professional assassins, but fortunately they were powerful. Everyone had their own way to hide their breath. As long as they didn't go to the big Dharma protectors, other places were basically free to enter and leave. In this way, a hunt began again. Several figures were moving around in the dark. Almost all the experts of the Beast Gate were killed in their sleep. They even had no time to make a terrible cry. The blood spread and the smell of blood appeared a little bit. No. There's a sneak attack. Ah. There was a quick scream from the tent. Then several campsites around all lit up. As soon as Yunwu saw that it was not good, she rushed to retreat. Unexpectedly, as soon as she left the camp, there were a large number of beast men with weapons facing her outside, encircling the nearby stronghold. "Shall we run? There are ambushes here on the other side." The voice of the dignified shouts of Shangguan came. Yunwu was surprised. He looked over and saw Shangguan was surrounded by black energy. He ran out directly, as if there was something terrible chasing him behind him, attracting all his eyes. There are 3 black lines on Yunwu's forehead. Does this guy want to attract people's attention to let them go? Shangguan was surrounded by groups, and immediately flew to Yunwu. Several other people also arrived and finally stood together. Until then, Yunwu finally saw that it was the big Dharma protector who was chasing Shangguan. The Dharma protector was dressed in black, and his face was cold, but he was shocked by Huang. In the evening, Huang said seriously, "The purpose of those people in the daytime is just to attract attention. They will attack the camp tonight." Therefore he ambushed his hands according to Huang's method, waiting for the arrival of Yunwu and others. Unexpectedly he was right. Looking at the cloud dancing people standing together, the big Dharma protector gave a cold hum. "My third brother's life is up to you now." After that, with a wave of the palm, the people of the Beast sect all around rushed up one after another. And the 2 most powerful Dharma protectors also directly bully themselves. The black energy turns into a black sickle, just like Death's sickle, and cleaves directly to Yunwu. Long Qingxia's eyes sank and an épée appeared in his hand. He went forward and took the attack from the big Dharma protector. Cloud Dance is not idle. Facing the second Dharma protector on the other side, the black flame saber appears again. On the saber, the burning flame is burning with a touch of strange color, which makes people feel palpitating just looking at it. The battle is imminent. Up to now, Cloud Dance is no longer reserved. The summoning array flashes, and several summoning beasts are all summoned out. "Master. Mama. Don't be idle, do it." A high-level summoner, under the command of Cloud Dance, all rushed down. Yunwu knew that with her strength, she was only better than the second Dharma protector. The great Dharma protector was under the pressure of the dragon. But there are still many experts here. Although the ordinary people of the 10,000 Beast sect are single, they can't afford to eat them even if there are a large number of them. "Don't fall in love with war. Get out as soon as you can." Cloud Dance said to other people, "This word's a Other several people have nodded. If they fight hard, the beast gate stationed here will not benefit. But it's still useful for them to keep these people, so naturally they will strike if they can, but they will leave a little force to worry about. With the addition of a few contract beasts, it will be difficult for those who are mixed with dragons to get close to the body of a few people, and eventually become a few people to deal with a Dharma protector. Mengbai was the first to get away. His opponent's strength was equal to him, and there was no one else around to block him. After a few moves, he found a gap to get away. Among the mountains and the sea of people, he was as if he was in a state of no one. He flew directly to the depth of the forest. As long as he entered the forest, there was no way to find him except for the clouds. The Dharma protector, who was left by Mengbai, wanted to chase him. The clinker suddenly flew by a big black knife from the side and nearly cut him. The Dharma protector twisted his body hard and ran away. Yunwu almost forgot that he had an opponent. The attack behind him had already arrived. He quickly turned back and continued to fight with the Dharma protector. Little 5. I'll help you. Shangguan shouts, kicks his opponent and rushes towards Yunwu. The black energy and the second Dharma protector are mixed together, and it's hard to see who's doing the trick. A palm split in the past, ready to split in the second Dharma's neck, clinker second Dharma to the side of a flash, directly away, and the other side of the Shangguan, but because the two Dharma guards dodged, unprepared hit over. Get out of the way, the official yelled and quickly withdrew his hand. The attack of Cloud Dance has fallen on the back of the second Dharma protector, and a bright red cut appears. Shangguan, are you here to help me or to help them? Looking at Shangguan, Yunwu was depressed. Just now that palm almost hit on her body, if it wasn't for her quick reaction. Even if she ran away and used the power of attacking the second Dharma protector to retreat, she would be beaten. I didn't mean to. Who knew he would suddenly get out of the way? Shangguan said with tears and laughter. In fact, Yunwu just now, even if he did not hide, he would not hit her. Cloud Dance just want to say what? The remaining light of Canthus suddenly saw to protect a method to attack to come over again. Go Yunwu grabs Shangguan's collar and cuts down the weapon of the second Dharma protector. Bang! With the help of the reaction force, the Cloud danced together, pulled Shangguan and flew out of the encirclement circle. On the way, he stepped on the heads of tens of thousands of beast men. Whose Dharma hands are good. There are few people with him today. We'll have a fight another day. Cloud Dance's figure gradually goes away, only floats this sentence far away. The second Dharma protector just wanted to catch up with him. Suddenly there was a tearing pain from his back. With the pain of being burned by the fire, he showed his teeth. The wound of Black Flame Broadsword is really not an ordinary wound. In the end, the second Dharma protector can only watch Yunwu leave. As soon as Yunwu left, other people also accelerated their speed and retreated one after another. The last few summoned beasts, even if they wanted to stop them, could not stop them and went back to the space directly. Waste. A bunch of rubbish. The Dharma guard watched his enemies fall into his own siege, but none of his subordinates could stay. His eyes were red with anger, and he wanted to catch up with them and break them into pieces. But I know very well in my heart that it's not as easy to find in the forest as it is outside. Even if I go, I may not be able to find it. They all looked at each other and didn't know how to persuade their Dharma protectors, so they could only stand there obediently to be disciplined. No one took advantage of this battle. In the forest, Cloud Dance frowned, obviously lost in thought because of what happened just now. After a long time, when all the people were together, Yunwu sighed and said, "It's my miscalculation. Huang, it's really not easy." Several people looked at each other, but in the end, Long Qingxia came forward and directly held Yunwu in his arms. "It's not a mistake. We're not at a loss, are we? And killed so many of them." Cloud Dance shook his head. "Fortunately this time only we can get away completely. If we bring other people, I'm afraid someone will have to stay there tonight." "No, it's just a small mistake," Si Tulan said with a smile, without paying any attention to it. "I think those people of the 10,000 Beast sect are much more angry than us now, and the loss is so heavy, I'm afraid they will be more vigilant next. In this way, we have achieved our goal of harassing them. Anyway, we didn't intend to kill them all in the beginning, did we? Mengbai also export comfort way. Cloud dance Wuxia smile. I just sigh that I actually miss. Why do you say so one by one comfort me? Am I the kind of person who can't stand the blow? Dragon Qing evil smile. In the end or only he can see Cloud dance, although some disappointed but not hit. Well, take a break. Our plan is a little more than half complete. It's really a good play from Dawn. Cloud dance said in a low voice, his eyes shining with confidence. This time her plan won't lose. Fenghuang Mountain Palace. What? What's the loss? A roar of fury resounded through the whole mountain palace, making the distant Cloud dance clearly heard. Yes, it said that Sanhufo was killed and later attacked in the middle of the night, killing many masters. The person who reports the situation is in a cold sweat. Why should he report such bad news? What if the deputy patriarch accidentally angered himself? Damn it! Shangguan lifted the table, and the teacups on it all broke on the ground. Shangguan looked coldly at the people kneeling on the ground and asked in a deep voice. Are those people doing Cloud dance again? Yes. Shangguan Li only felt a burst of chest pain. How did he let them escape last time? If not, I'm afraid it won't happen now. Deputy Patriarch, the Dharma Protector, said that he was afraid that there would be another sneak attack today, so he hoped to send someone to support him. Still supporting? Shangguan glared and said, will you send them to kill again? A small underground palace could not be captured, and so many people were wasted. Master, calm down. The man quickly bowed his head and knelt on the ground, and then he did not dare to look up again. Shangguan Li sat on the stool and thought for a long time. After a long time he finally said, it's just that. I'll take some more experts and tell him that I must hear the good news of the seizure in 3 days, otherwise he won't have to come back. Yes, the man's heart relaxed, and he immediately took the order and went down. Go forward with great strength and vigor from the Phoenix Palace. Cloud dance. Several people stand on a high mountain, looking at the mighty team, face a burst of joy. Xiaowu is really smart. They really increased their help. Shangguan rarely flatters Yinwu. Long Qingxia hugged the clouds and his face was full of joy. The underground palace is an important stronghold of the Phoenix family. Naturally, we should take it seriously. The more serious the damage, the more important the underground palace is. So it's reasonable to send more people. Although the words say so, but the Longqing evil still looks at the face of Cloud dance to beat from the heart happy. Feel that what she does is really right. Well, the next thing is simple. Cloud dance laughs of uncanny. Turn ahead to see to Mengbai, ask away. That side prepares of how? Mengbai showed a proud smile on his face. Obviously, he was very satisfied with the progress of the plan. It's all finished. It's expected to start at midnight tonight. Good. Cloud dance nodded with satisfaction and said. At midnight tonight, the Saint of Phoenix led the team of Phoenix to formally attack, fight against the Beast Gate, fight to the death. Time passed quickly, and in the twinkling of an eye it was late at night. After a day's rest, Yunwu was the first one to open his eyes. The darkness of the night covered them. It was like deliberately helping them. It was as dark as ever, and it was more convenient for them to move. Yunwu stood up. The strong wind on the top of the mountain scattered her long hair. In the dark, a pair of eyes are bright and frightening. Yunwu is looking forward to what will happen next. Dragon Qingxia wakes up the second time and walks behind Yunwu. Like her, he looks at the Phoenix Mountain Palace in the distance. Tonight the battle here must be over, isn't it? Cloud dance said softly. Yes. Long Qingxia nodded. Next we have a lot of places to go. There are a lot of things to do. Yunwu didn't speak. He had been out for such a long time, and he went to so many places unconsciously. I couldn't help sighing. Long Qingxia's eyes flashed slightly. He went forward and hugged her. He said softly in his ear, I will accompany you all the time, no matter where I go. Cloud dance along, followed by a gentle smile. No matter where you go or what you do, it's a pleasure to have him by your side. Hello. As soon as I open my eyes, I see you show your love. It's not fair. Shangguan rubbed his eyes, sat on the ground and looked at the two people in front of the cliff with a smile. This cry made the other people wake up one after another. Long Qingxia didn't seem to hear it. On the contrary, he hugged the cloud more tightly. Yunwu naturally didn't care. Instead, she looked at the crowd and asked, "Are you awake? Then let's go." In the dark, several figures rushed to the foot of the mountain. Soon, they arrived at the foot of the mountain, where there was a strong team waiting for them. Feng Huang stood at the front of the line, followed by the summoned people waiting patiently. It seems that I know that after tonight, I will either die under the hands of the Beast Gate, or take back my own territory and restore my former glory. Everyone here is energetic. On the surface, no one speaks. In fact, everyone is nervous to death. "Saint, they're coming down." Finally, a voice excited to ring out, pointing to a few figures down from the mountain happily said. Feng Huang quickly looked at the past, but between a few breaths, the 5 figures that had just entered the line of sight were all in front of her. The first one is Cloud Dance. Already, Cloud Dance's vision swept over the crowd. It's clear that Feng Huang is the saint, but I don't know why Yunwu is standing beside her. Her charm is not inferior to Feng Huang at all, or even better. What she asks seems to be what their master asked. "Ready?" The high voice sounded, and the heroes were excited. Cloud Dance's eyes are bright, spit out a word of expectation. Then set out. Fight the Beast Gate. Thousands of troops of the Phoenix family, under the cover of the night, march toward the Phoenix Mountain Palace. Even the moon intentionally helps them to hide behind the clouds, making a piece of land completely hidden in the night. Until approaching Feng Huangshan Palace, standing on the nearest low mountain, and looking down at the guard in front of the gate of Feng Huangshan Palace, everyone of the Feng Huangshan family felt excited. Saint someone can't wait to export, eager eyes on the body of Feng Huang. Feng Huang was as excited as they were, but she turned her head and looked at Yunwu. It seemed that she could not attack until she ordered. Yunwu stood in the front, staring at the mountain palace for a long time. After observing everything, he turned around and said, "Everyone make a team." The first team, led by Nangong and Chia, attacked from the left wing. Team 2, Follow Me and Long, attacked from the right wing. 3 teams, led by Shangguan and Situlan, outflanked from behind. 4 teams led by the Virgin, attack from the front. 4 teams lead the first attack. When the center of gravity of the mountain palace is on the main gate, the other 3 sides attack at the same time. Remember, be sure to listen to the transfer and take the overall situation into consideration. Anyone who disobeys shall be punished. All the people, show yourself, attack. The last word fell, and the Feng Huang people finally waited until this moment. They were all red-eyed and roared. Yes! On the hillside, all of a sudden, the light is in full bloom, and a phoenix suddenly appears in front of the public, like a rebirth in a bath fire, accompanied by a high phoenix. At this moment, the Phoenix family made concerted efforts to rush towards the mountain palace below with the momentum of skyrocketing. The Phoenix clan will take orders, attack the Beast Gate and take back the territory. I will drive out all the beasts in the mountain palace. Feng Huang hovers in the front, and the passionate voice makes the people's fighting spirit to a higher level. Yes, from the hillside, streamers pass by, falling like meteor shower one after another, with extremely fast speed. By the time the people in the mountain palace responded, they had arrived at the gate of the palace. Kill dash! A large number of people from the Beast Gate poured out from the mountain palace. When they saw the phoenix all over the sky, they were shocked. In their impression, the Phoenix clan has always been well controlled. When did they see such a huge team? When the reaction came, groups of Phoenix had already rushed into the mountain palace, killing the beast men. Go and report to the deputy lord. Someone responded and cried out. This just someone reaction come over, hurried to the mountain palace to report the news in. What? How dare you come? Shangguanli just felt a strong breath outside, but he didn't know what it was. Just as he was about to go out to have a look, he received the news of the resistance of the Phoenix clan. He was not angry at all. Quickly said, "Go and send someone to resist. Be sure to capture all the rebellious people." Yes, the reporter took orders, turned and left. Shangguan sat in it, his chest undulating constantly. He always wanted to get rid of those people who were exiled by the Phoenix clan. Now he's very good. I'm afraid he got some news from those people. His confidence has greatly increased, and he has resisted so quickly. Fortunately, they are not easy to offend. Now they occupy the mountain palace, among which there are countless experts. Wait. What did Shangguan think of? No. Now more than half of those experts have been sent to the forest for support. Today's mountain palace. Damn it, until this moment. Shangguan finally realized that he had been trapped by the other party's plan. I'm afraid there is no one in the underground palace now. Shangguan flies out in a hurry. At this time, he doesn't dare to trust him anymore. If he doesn't guard, he's afraid that the mountain palace will be taken back by the Phoenix people again. Yunwu stands on the hillside. Behind him, a group of Fenghuang people are still looking at the battle below. Their vision is always erratic. It seems that they are looking for something. Finally, after seeing the figure of Shangguan Li, the cloud danced around the corner of his mouth. He turned to the people behind him and said, I command as a high priest. No one can show himself without my command. The crowd nodded. There are not many people here, but they are all the elite of the Phoenix family, and their task is not to fight directly. They will lurk in the brilliant battlefield and pull out those masters one by one. Maybe these people are not many, and they can't be compared with those who went out before, but their combat effectiveness is the key. In this case, then follow the previous unit, action. At the command of Yunwu, he took the lead to fly to the mountain palace below. Behind him, a group of people dressed in black followed closely. On the way down the mountain, they divided into 3 groups and went in different directions. When Shangguan Li arrived at the gate of the mountain palace, he saw thousands of phoenix flying in the sky, blooming with colorful colors. The most beautiful fire-red phoenix was the saint of the Phoenix family, who rushed into the crowd of the Beast Gate. All the fighting, many people died in her hands. A pair of animal eyes seemed to be dyed red by blood. It seems that I feel Shangguan's sharp look at me. The fiery red phoenix raises its head. A pair of eyes turn red against the background of the fire, and the whole body is immersed in the fire, with unprecedented momentum. After half a year of abuse and training, the Phoenix clan, which has been infiltrated in hatred and anger, has played a different role in fighting. Shangguan Li's strength is too strong, but don't fight hard, protect yourself. As long as we delay, everything will turn for the better. This is the plan Yunwu gave her before the action, and now it rings in her mind. The hatred in Feng Huangnu's eyes is not extinguished, but she is more shrewd. Although I really want to rush forward and tear up the man, I know clearly that the gap between them is the strength. Do you think you can succeed if you want to remove the tiger from the mountain? Shangguan's voice came down from the sky. Standing in the air, he looked down at the crowd. Even his voice was rolling. You can't measure yourself. Even if you do your best, there will be no result. Today, I will capture all of you. After that, Shangguan Li's body moved and rushed directly to Feng Huangnu. The speed was very fast. Phoenix female beast eyes wide open, looked up a high foaming breakthrough in the sky. Immediately there are a few phoenix toward this side. Feng Huangnu wings a wave. A group of hot flame toward rushed to the Shangguan Li mercilessly hit. Shangguan dodged away from the attack. At the same time, the other phoenix is taking advantage of this opportunity to rush up, taking the opportunity to surround Shangguan Li group. Shangguan's eyes narrowed slightly and said with a sneer, "How can we cheat less with more? Think you can deal with me like this?" Phoenix did not speak. For the face of Shangguan Li, everyone is feeling pressure. It's just that the pressure didn't make them feel afraid. Even if they gave their lives, today they still want to take back what belongs to them. Up at the command of Feng Huangnu, several huge Fenghuang attacked immediately. High above, gorgeous light set off the whole sky. In the chaotic mountain palace, several dark shadows took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the other 3 palace gates, and then used the war to get into the ranks of the Beast Gate. They could always take away some lives when they got up and fell. The black flame broadsword is burning with burning fire, just like Death's scythe, reaping the lives of all beasts. Compared with those gorgeous brilliance, it is more mysterious and scarier. Cloud Dance stares at a man who can almost catch up with himself. In a short period of time, the other party has already knocked 3 Phoenix to the ground and lost the ability to resist. If he is allowed to do it again, he is afraid that the casualties will be even heavier. Cloud Dance side carefully hide their own breath, try to let their own breath and those Phoenix close, at the same time slowly close to him, lurking in the side. When the opponent once fought against a Phoenix, suddenly the empty door behind him opened wide. As soon as Cloud Dance's eyes brightened, he rushed up without hesitation, and sent out the black flame broadsword directly from the back of his heart. The burning fire sent out a hot high temperature, burning the body of the beast man. Yunwu takes back the sword, and the man's body is heavily planted underground, just like the Phoenix he just killed, losing its vitality. The Phoenix on the opposite side looked at her gratefully and turned to fight. Yunwu moves and continues to search for the next target. The Battle of Fenghuangshan Palace continues, and a battle is also going on in the primeval forest on the other side. Found the entrance? The Dharma Protector looked at the person who came to report with surprise. After being attacked that day, it didn't take long to receive the support from the mountain palace. In order to recover the loss, the Dharma Protector quickly sent more people to search in the forest, while strengthening the guard. After a few days, no matter he or his staff are all tired in a mess, today we finally have the result. Yes. Everyone is waiting in the forest, waiting for the order of the Dharma Protector. The reporter also had a happy face. After suffering for such a long time, and worrying about sneak attack, I have to find the entrance. Today I can finally be proud. Pass my orders, straighten up the formation, attack. The great Dharma Protector said excitedly. Yes, after receiving the order, the man turned quickly and went out. It was not until then that the camp finally became lively. Big brother, it's great to be able to avenge my third brother at last. The second Dharma Protector stood up, went to the big Dharma Protector's side, and said excitedly, "Those hateful Fenghuang clansmen are trying to resist. Today we will let them know the power of our beast gate. Where they are stationed, the team of 10,000 beasts will gather quickly." Soon, under the leadership of several Dharma Protectors, they attacked the forest on a large scale. The mighty team sang all the way, as if they had been tired for many days. When they finally arrived at the entrance of the underground palace, those responsible for the inspection had been waiting for a long time. "Dharma Protector, the entrance is here." Seeing the appearance of the Dharma Protector, a man immediately came forward and asked respectfully, "Attack now? Still have to wait?" When the Dharma Protector turned his head, he saw that a big hole had been dug out at the entrance of the small dog hole, which directly exposed the cave inside. It was enough for 10 people to pass side by side. "Attack now, of course, or when?" The big Dharma Protector glared and said impolitely, "Yes, I'll give you orders." After that, he turned to the back. The procession marched in order, through the passage, and then to the den. At this time, the teleport array has been exposed in front of the public, and the Dharma Protector gives an order. "Attack!" A large number of beastmen rushed to the transmission array instantly. In an instant, the light is shining. The people in the transmission array were whirling around, and soon stood in the underground palace. A gust of wind blows, and the people who appear in the underground palace are instantly on guard against the attacks around them. But after a long time, I didn't feel anything, and the whole underground palace seemed to be silent without any living things. The first few people were stunned. What's the matter? Just as they were stunned, the transmission array behind them flashed again, and another group of people appeared in the underground palace with the same reaction as them. This what's going on? How come it's like there's no one? A person opens mouth to say, some blankly look to nearby companion. Did you get the news and run ahead of time? The other one said, there are more and more people coming in behind. Each of them has the same reaction, and finally someone reacts. Go and tell the Dharma Protector that there is no one here. A word wakes up the dreamer, immediately someone wakes up by the sound, turns around and walks towards the transmission array. What? No one? When the Dharma Protector got the news, he directly pushed away the people who came to report the situation, and walked towards the transmission array with great strides. When the light flashed and the Dharma protector appeared in the underground palace, his face became ugly. Search me. Search door to door and smash all those houses. I don't believe there is no one. The Dharma protector gave an order in a rage. Yes, the soldiers took orders and flew to the houses. The Dharma protector is in a bad mood now. If he stays, he may be implicated. It's better to work hard. In the underground palace, there is a burning, killing and smashing place. I don't know if it's because of the fear of the big Dharma protector's anger. Everyone works very hard. No complete house has been left where the people of the Beast Gate have passed, and even all the utensils in it have been destroyed and razed to the ground. The Dharma protector looks at all this with a gloomy face. Behind him, there are still soldiers coming out of the transmission array, and then joining in the destruction under the reminding of his partner. Half an hour later, the whole underground palace was razed to the ground, but none of the Fenghuang people saw it. On the contrary, almost all the soldiers of the Beast Gate came here and filled the underground palace. The soldiers responsible for the destruction jostled each other. Finally, a man came out and trembled to the big Dharma protector. He said with fear, "Report back to the big Dharma protector. All the tests have been finished. No Phoenix people were found." With a bang, the Dharma protector flipped his palm and directly lifted the man out. He hit the side of the mountain wall heavily, and then fell to the ground heavily as if it were falling apart. "Hateful Phoenix, they even put one!" The great Dharma protector yelled with red eyes. "All retreat, back to the mountain palace." Yes, a large number of beast men, using the transmission array to send out a little bit, and then gather again in the forest. How long did it take just now to get in, and how long does it take now to get out? After many days of mental torture, now they are so tossed about that they don't even have time to rest. These people have been exhausted for a long time, but they are still struggling to obey the orders. Fortunately, after the assembly, the Dharma protector gave an order, and went straight back to the mountain palace. The spirit of the people was better. It has been a long time since the great army flew to Fenghuangshan Palace. In the dark, they did not stop on their way, until they saw a little fire waiting for them on the hillside not far away. The big Dharma protector's eyes are slightly high, and suddenly he has a bad cold in his heart. What's the matter? The second Dharma protector was stunned. He turned his head to one side and said, "Go and see who it is and how to wait here." Yes. The man took orders and turned to investigate. The team of 10,000 Beast Gate took advantage of this time to have a rest. If they want to be more subdued, they will be more subdued. However, before the surveyors came back, the light moved towards them. The big Dharma protector's eyelids jump, and then, in the light of the fire, a dazzling golden light suddenly blooms, just like the sun rising suddenly in the dark, illuminating the sky and the earth. Every one of the Beast Gate, you've been deceiving people too much. Now it's right to plant it on us. A voice sounds young, but the words seem to have gone through many vicissitudes. It looks like an old city. But even if it is like this, it still makes the Dharma protector feel that the situation is not good. Just listen to the voice continue to say, "Now you 10,000 Beast Gate enslave our Phoenix clan's day has come to an end. In the Phoenix Mountain Palace, I'm afraid it's already the territory of the Phoenix people. There's no need to go back. No. It's a diversion. Brother, we need to go back to support as soon as possible." The second Dharma protector was the first to react and quickly frowned and said to the great Dharma protector. The big Dharma protector's brow was locked, and his eyes were fixed on the golden phoenix in front of him. If you have not guessed wrong, I'm afraid that every one of them is a phoenix people. What a terrible amount of light, like the sea of stars. Go! The great Dharma protector made a quick decision, and immediately rushed up behind him with an order. But after so many days of mental torture and just now disappointment, in the face of so many enemies, who else has the courage to go forward? At present, although they are all rushing forward, more than half of the people are timid. The two Dharma protectors took the lead and led the team forward. They don't want to beat this man, but they want to take the team back to the mountain palace as soon as possible. Otherwise, the mountain palace will fall, and the situation of them and the phoenix will be reversed. At my command, stop them, kill as many as you can. At the command of Xiao Chou, The golden light shrouded him. Even if his words didn't seem like a serious order, they still fell on everyone's ears and hearts like holy light. Yes, the Feng Huang people responded excitedly, and then a phoenix appeared on the hillside. Unlike Yinwu, the people here don't have strict orders. With their blood and hatred, they make the most of their fighting power. It doesn't need too many orders. As long as there is a little stink, the guardian beast, and a kill command, they will do their best to kill all those beasts. An almost overwhelming battle took place on the hillside. 10,000 beastmen who have always been invincible are completely planted here. In Feng Huangshan Palace, the battle became white-hot. However, with the constant falling of the experts in the Beast Gate, the rest are just some people with average strength. Facing the hatred of the Phoenix people, they have no power to fight back. Until then, Yunwu looked at the scene of the battle and smiled. The Ape in Long Tilt's hand just killed a Dharma protector of the Beast Gate. He turned his head and saw the smile on Yunwu's face. He couldn't help but smile and conveyed the order to other people. At the next moment, all the Fenghuang clansmen hiding in the dark turned into prototypes one after another, and the high sound of beasts resounded through the sky. In an instant, in the mountain palace, the number of beast men and phoenix directly formed a sharp contrast. More and more phoenix joined in the fight against Shengguanli. Are you strong? Can you overwhelm the phoenix people? Okay, then I'll crush you with quantity. Even a strong man of Emperor Wu is hard to deal with the army of a country. What's more, all the people who fight against him are the experts of the Phoenix clan. Although you can't fight as hard as Shengguan, if you want to fight alone, you must be dreaming. Cloud Dance watched the battle enter his expected situation, and the 10,000 Beast Gate team in the forest did not appear, so he was relieved. It seems that they have blocked those people. Nangong, go and help to deal with Shengguanli. Let's go and see if there are any fish caught in the net. Cloud Dance says to a few people in the South Palace, and then drags the dragon to Poor Evil, and flies to the depth of the mountain palace. You too. Lazy. Want to go on a date in hiding? Shengguan glared and said, wait for me, I'll go too. Having said that, Shengguan moved and wanted to catch up. Hey, don't go to the party. Look over there. Your father is not easy to deal with. Situ Lan grabs the Shengguan who wants to follow and points to the Shengguan on the other side. Sure enough, we can see that the war situation over there is in a state of balance at most. Shengguan Li's strength is really not just talking about it. Shengguan turned his mouth and said with a sneer. Otherwise, how could he climb to the present position? His prestige is established by means and strength. Speaking of this, Shengguan could not help frowning in disgust. He hated those people who made the style most. He hated it when he thought of his father. Forget it, you may have some difficulties in dealing with him. Let me meet him in person. He wanted to kill me at the beginning, but today, I will not be soft-handed. After that, Shengguan's body moved and flew directly to Shengguan's direction. Situ Lan shook his head. He couldn't help but feel sorry for Shengguan's father. He flew over with Nangong. Son of a bitch, you are here. As soon as Shengguan's figure appeared, Shengguan glared at him. Are you going to murder your biological father? It's treason, murder your biological father? Shengguan sneered. Why didn't you know it was treason when you wanted to murder me? Shengguan's sharp eyes were cold, which was obviously taboo. But listening to Shengguan's words, he didn't feel that he was wrong. On the contrary, he felt that it was Shengguan's fault. Son of a bitch. I'll give you another chance to come back. I can let bygones be bygones. If you don't agree, I'll let you die here with them today. After hearing this, Shengguan said, Go back? Go back and learn from you. To be as ruthless as you are? When you are not happy next time, will you give me a chase order? Shengguan's eyes were cold and he didn't speak. At this moment, he really wanted to kill him at the beginning. All the people around stopped to watch the farce between father and son. After all, it was a matter between two father and son, and no one else could interfere. It's just, is it really okay to say that on the battlefield? Fortunately, then Shengguan was too lazy to talk nonsense with his father and waved impatiently. You don't have to say any more. At the beginning, you had the heart to kill me. Today don't be soft-hearted, or you will die. After that, Shangguan rushed up first. The black light flickers on the body, just like Shangguan Li, which symbolizes the relationship between them. Seeing this, other people rushed up, or else they could let Shangguan deal with it alone. The battle here begins again. This time, Shangguan Li, who had been doing well before Ming Ming, finally felt the pressure and gave full play to his fighting capacity. Deep in the mountain palace, Yunwu and Long Qingxi didn't worry about the battle. They knew clearly that the end of the battle had already been doomed, and their mission is to inspect whether there are any trapped fish here. It's not good if one or two people of the beast sect run away in the chaos of the battle. After all, they have to root out the grass. It's not that those who miss the net will be terrible, but in case they mix up in the Phoenix clan to be a spy in the future, the consequences will be the most serious. Two people carefully toward the depths of Go, not let go of any corner. Really found a lot of people hiding in the dark to observe the battle outside. These people obviously see the trend of the times, so they hide one after another, hoping to take the opportunity to escape, but they are pulled out by Yunwu and Yunwu. The more you go in, the fewer people there are. Until a long time later, no one was found. I think I've already looked for it. Cloud Dance looked around and said, even if it's hiding, it's estimated that no one can hide here. This is the interior of the Phoenix clan. As soon as the war is over, this is the most heavily guarded place. Who will hide here? At this time, they were in one of the most luxurious buildings in the mountain palace. In the past, it was the place where the elders of the Phoenix clan discussed affairs. Naturally, they were heavily guarded. Let's go back and see what happened to Shangguan Li. Cloud Dance turns to the dragon to pour evil to say, but suddenly discover that the other side is frowning left to see right to see. What's the matter? Cloud Dance alone, surprised of ask away. Long Qingxia shook his head and said, I always feel that there is an ancient array here, but I don't know where it is. With that, Long Qingxia reached for Yunwu's hand and said, don't hurry to go back. It's not so easy to come back here after the battle. Let's go around and have a look. Maybe we'll find something. Yunwu nodded, and then they walked around directly. Long Qingxia can only feel the general direction, but the specific location cannot be judged. They can only wander around. Fortunately, there's no need to worry about the battle outside. Even if Shangguan Li doesn't win there, they will be tied. The two of them went directly into the back hall of the meeting. The magnificent decoration, however, was tinged with darkness because of the residence of the people of the beast sect. Nevertheless, the furnishings here are still set up by the Fenghuang people, which has its own dignity and dignity. There is nothing strange about the whole back hall. Just like the general back hall, there are seats, pillars, cups and tea sets on the table. Even there are various things hanging on the wall, and many decorations are placed on the shelf beside. Some things are also conducive to cultivation. Where is it? Cloud Dance can't feel that kind of existence, so it can only turn its head and look at the dragon nearby. At the same time, there is also a doubt in her heart. Clearly her own perception is not bad. Why can't she feel it? Look over there. Dragon tilts heresy, pulls Cloud to dance, then toward a platform to walk. On the table, a transparent crystal ball appears on it. It seems that it is just a decorative function. No one knows what it is used for. In fact, even the Phoenix people themselves do not know his use, except for the Saint of the Phoenix people. It seems to be here. It's broken from here. Long Qingxia stands in front of the crystal ball and says to Yunwu. Cloud Dance looked around in surprise, and finally his eyes fell on the crystal ball in front of him and said, is it this? Long Qingxia frowned and said, I'll try. Then the hand quickly changed, as if doing the array in general. Soon, a small array suddenly appeared, and now in his palm, a pure force as if from ancient times emerged from the array, and then poured into the crystal ball. Yunwu was surprised that Long Qingxi knew how to use it, and at the same time, she was staring at the crystal ball's reaction. I saw a burst of light in the crystal ball, shining the whole back hall like day. The ancient energy was directly absorbed by the crystal ball. Slowly, a blue beam of light changed several times and suddenly shot into the center of the roof. Cloud Dance two people look. This only then discovered that the roof unexpectedly has a complex pattern. appears extremely ancient and solemn. As like as two peas of, the blue light shines blue after the blue beam is shot. It is like a map and a light pattern is formed on the ground. The light pattern slowly turns, as beautiful as water waves. When it finally turns to fit with the patterns carved on the ground, there is a boom sound in the whole palace. Then a large area of prototype land on the ground suddenly sank down, and soon a circular passage appeared. Yunwu was shocked to see everything in front of him. Unexpectedly, there was such a place in the Phoenix family. Long Qingxia was also very surprised. In fact, he didn't know what was going on. He just made it according to his own idea with his intuition. He didn't expect that he really guessed it right. In the heart to that breath feeling appeared again. This time, even Cloud Dance felt different. At the moment, the palm of the hand, the palm of the array back, and Cloud Dance look at each other. The two nodded, quickly walked towards the channel, together into one. After they went in, the ground was restored to its original state again. Everything seemed to have not happened, and they fell into silence again. Cloud danced two people along the passage all the way to go inside. The feeling in the heart is constantly strengthening. The passage seemed to have no end. Two people walked for a long time, finally met a fork in the road. This way. Dragon Qing Evil accurately pointed out one of the directions, pulled Cloud Dance to turn in together. It's a long way to go, and it's a dizzy road. Fortunately, it's just a road, and there's no fork in the road. Finally, waiting for two people, is an open cave. What's the situation? Cloud Dance frowned some funny said. Did you walk so long just to see the cave? Dragon Qingxia also made a helpless appearance. Evil Spirit said with a smile. Maybe it is true. The ancestors of the Phoenix people like to practice here, so they have this place. They looked at each other and shrugged. After that, Long Qingxia looked around seriously. My intuition tells me that there is no danger here, but that strong feeling, what I am looking for is here. How can there be no danger? Yunwu frowned and looked around the cave. I saw a few words carved on the mountain wall. The winner, the loser. The simple 6 words. I don't know how many times I have heard them, but now they appear here. The imprint of the carving goes deep into the wall, as if with a lot of power. The 6 characters look plain, but they are full of arrogance. The person who wants to carve them must be arrogant. Here it is. Cloud Dance eyes bright, suddenly found something like, quickly stretched out his hand, fingertip pointed to the winner king in the word Wang. I can see that in the middle of the word Wang, there is an invisible gap between the horizontal and vertical intersection. If it wasn't for Yunwu, I'm afraid I couldn't find it at all. Long Qingxia smiles and hugs his hand on Yunwu's waist. The evil spirit says, the little thing is so smart. It's the same as what I think. Cloud Dance pick eyebrow. Take out a long silver needle from the space of carry on. Toward that king character in the middle. With the deepening of the silver needle, a strong shock appeared in the cave. On one side of the mountain wall, a stone door slowly opened. The white light blooms from behind the stone gate. With the opening of the stone gate, it sets off the whole cave. Yunwu takes back the silver needle, and they retreat one after another, waiting for the stone door to open. Finally, when the stone gate was completely opened, they looked at the stone gate with shocked eyes. The soft white light fills the world behind the stone gate. The white without any impurities seems to be extremely rich in energy, and the fog with life is flowing continuously. It is clearly white, but it is not dazzling in the dark cave. Both saw shock in each other's eyes. A moment later, the white light suddenly flows out from below, like a pool. A white stream flows to Yunwu and Yunwu, paving a path in front of them. On the path, the bright self appeared in it, and Yunwu clearly saw the upper boundary written on it. This is the way to the upper world. Cloud Dance looked at all this in amazement. Some didn't believe it. Dragon Qingxia tightly hugged Yunwu's hand, and a touch of evil spirit came out of the corner of his mouth. I didn't expect that the road that I couldn't find appeared in front of us. In this way, it can explain why the people of the 10,000 beasts want to occupy the Phoenix clan. I think they also want to find this way. Cloud Dance at this time has recovered from surprise, heard the dragon pour evil words, can't help nodding, said, Look at their appearance should not be found, otherwise also won't stay here so long. Well. Long Qingxia nodded, looked at the road in front of him, and said, "This road looks so easy to find. If there are people who can feel it, I'm afraid it will be exposed sooner or later. Not only that, the Phoenix family has occupied here for a long time, and it is inevitable that they will not find it." Cloud Dance frowned and said, and then suddenly thought of something, turned to see the dragon Qingxia. "Why don't we seal here for the time being?" Long Qingxia's eyebrows were picked, and he shaved Yunwu's nose with a smile. He said, "It's the same as what I think." They agreed and then went to the 6 words as before, but this time it was not Wang. Cloud Dance 2 people carefully will see all over. Finally the silver needle inserted in the top of a point. The stone door slowly closed, the cave again into darkness. "Let's go." Long Qingxia took a last look and walked out with Yunwu. When he got to the outside passage, Long Qingxia waited for a moment, released the most difficult one in his array, and blocked the passage. With this array, there must be no one in the whole Phoenix world who can destroy it except him. Another one was set at the fork. When they returned to the back hall again, the whole passage had been set up 3 ancient arrays by Dragon Qingxia. Each of the 3 arrays was different, but they were all the same. Looking at his masterpiece, Long Qingxia nodded with satisfaction, hugged the Cloud Dance around him and said, "Don't worry, the array I set is not so easy to break. Let's go. The battle outside should be almost over." In the mountain palace, more and more Phoenix joined the battle of Shangguanli. But it's only occasionally to help. There are more people around Shangguanli. The size of Phoenix is so huge that it's hard to avoid mutual influence when we go forward together. In this way, it's better for several powerful people to pester each other, and others are just helping each other. Shangguan gets close to Shangguanli's body and deals with his father. He clearly knows where the other party's weakness is. The smell of darkness entangled together, no one let who for a moment. It was difficult to separate the fight. Surrounded by the black fog cannot tell who. Shangguan was furious, and at the same time he was shocked that his child's strength had reached this point. Although there are other people's help, but compared with the past is very different. The people who attacked together made Shangguan feel unprecedented pressure. When dealing with Shangguan, they also felt constrained. These people cooperated very well. Once they had a place to relax, someone would immediately seize this loophole and attack him fiercely. He didn't dare to live lightly for fear that he might fall into the inferior position. At that time, no matter who can give him a fatal attack. Shangguanli, trapped in the scuffle, no longer has the heart to worry about the battle in the mountain palace. Until a cold voice resounded through the sky, and it seemed to come directly from his ear. "The Beast Gate has been defeated. Even if you win, you are just a bare commander. What's the use?" Cloud Dance stands in the air, fighting side by side with Dragon, looking down at the battle below. Shangguan looked up and saw that the 2 Yunwu and Longqingxi, who he had been trying to kill, were standing there with incomparable prestige. Compared with them, he is like a lost dog, lost all the support. Damn it! At this time, taking advantage of the gap of Shangguanli's surprise, a very fast black arrow feather flew directly towards Shangguanli and directly into his body. Into a black fog into his body. Shangguanli trembled all over. Poof Chi spat out a mouthful of blood, turned his head, with a trace of unbelievable Shangguan. "Son of a bitch. How dare you!" Shangguan slowly took back his hand, quickly covered up a trace of undercurrent in the bottom of his eyes, squinted at Shangguanli and said, "Don't you know that long ago? That arrow feather was specially condensed by him. Once it hit the body, it would directly penetrate into the body and destroy it." However, Shangguan also knew that with his father's strength, his arrow feather would not kill him. Moreover, his own strength is the same as his. Naturally, the effect of this attack should be discounted. The other side can refine that strength without much effort. But now he is in the encirclement. There is no way to calm down and refine. Thinking of what Yunwu said before the war, Shangguan narrowed his eyes slightly. Shangguanli's strength is too strong. If he is killed by force, it will cause a counterattack, and our casualties will be heavy. It's better to stop just to let him leave the Phoenix world. There will always be a time when he will be destroyed. Cloud Dance is right. If you fight hard again, I'm afraid Shangguanli will really show his cards. Although so many people are really not afraid to fight, there will be some troubles in the end. It's better to wait. Therefore, although this attack can hurt him, it is not fatal. Good. Shangguanli was shocked by his attack. He recalled what Yunwu had just said. There are more than 10 phoenix experts around him. Even if he wants to do something, he can't make a big storm. On the contrary, the gain is not worth the loss. Looking around again, I saw that the people of the 10,000 Beast Gate were so insignificant in the Phoenix group. The corpses of the 10,000 Beast Gate fell from the air and spread on the ground. Compared with those dead disciples, the number of Fenghuang people falling is really too small. Shangguan clenched his fists and looked at the scene in front of him. He was not willing to do so. His business had been destroyed for many days. Don't be too happy. If I can occupy here once, I can have a second time. Shangguanli looked at the fiery red phoenix flying in the air and said coldly, "Today, even if you take back the mountain palace, I will occupy it again in the future. One day, you phoenix people will be affiliated to our Beast Gate." Ouch! Feng Huingve looked up at the sky and roared, with a very strong anger in her voice. If it was not for the presence of others, reminding her to be rational, I'm afraid she would rush up and fight with Shangguan fiercely. Shangguanli directly ignored her anger, turned his head and looked at the cloud above coldly, and said again, "As for you, you can't escape the pursuit of the Beast Gate. I'll let you know the power of the Beast Gate." Then, in full view of the public, a mass of black fog suddenly emerged, which wrapped Shangguanli tightly. But a few seconds, the black fog dispersed. Shangguanli's figure directly disappeared in front of the crowd. Shit! The old man even ignored his own men? Meng Bai muttered, and instantly reminded everyone. There are still many beast men in the mountain palace, although the boss has run away. The rest of the soldiers can't be forgiven. These people don't know how many bad things they have done. And today they are all cleaned up. Yunwu nodded to Feng Huingve. Feng Huingve understood and flapped her wings. The huge body of Feng Huang soared towards the mountain palace. She circled around the mountain palace, and the high voice of Feng Ming resounded from every corner. Ouch! It seems to have received the guidance of Feng Huingve. All the Feng Huang in the mountain palace raised their heads and sent out Feng Ming to the air. They should be with Feng Huingve. Soon, the invincible Phoenix clan was even more fierce. Before long, he killed the remaining 10,000 beastmen and ran away. Yunwu turned to Feng Huingve, who had already turned into a human, and said in a light way, "The people of the beast sect are mean and don't do anything good at ordinary times. If you leave one or two here today, I'm afraid it will harm people in the future. Remember to kill them all." Feng Huingve experienced the war just now. Her heart is still excited at this time. After hearing Yunwu's words, he could not help nodding and said, "Don't worry, I've told you to go down, and I won't let go of any one of the 10,000 beast men." Yunwu nodded with satisfaction and looked up in another direction. "The battle in the mountain palace is over, but I don't know what's going on there, Miss Yun." Feng Huingve suddenly opened her mouth and called Cloud Dance, and the words were full of respect. Cloud Dance alone turned head to look at her, signal her to continue to say, "I have launched a race challenge against the dark beast this time." Feng Huingve slightly frowned, some indecisive said, "This time, I won't do it." Cloud Dance suddenly said coldly, "Why? I'm just helping you deal with the Beast Gate. As for the resentment between the Phoenix clan and the Dark Beast, it's not something we human beings can intervene in. Moreover, in today's situation, you are the Saint of the Phoenix, and Little Stink is your guardian beast of the Phoenix. You need this battle to rebuild your prestige. If you need my help in everything." The following words Cloud Dance didn't continue to say, but Feng Huingve already understood. "Don't forget, you are the Saint of the Phoenix family." Cloud Dance finally explained then turned round to look for Dragon to pour evil. Feng Huingve trembled all over her body, as if she had been awakened by the Cloud Dance for a moment. Yes, she is the Saint of Phoenix. Even in the face of being chased and killed at the beginning, she never gave up. However, Yunwu has been helping the Phoenix clan all this time, which makes her have the psychology of dependence. Even the race challenge makes her want to tell her. For a moment, Feng Huangnu only felt a cold sweat coming from her back. Fortunately, Yunwu was rational enough to remind her in time, otherwise she would not be able to do it. Come on, let's go to see Little Stink. We don't know what happened to that guy. Cloud Dance walks to the dragon to pour evil nearby, and says to several people of upper official. Shangguan bowed his head in silence. Surprisingly, he didn't raise his head as before. He didn't know what he was thinking. Only when Situlan came forward and patted him did he react fiercely. He pulled a smile on his face and said, "Ah, okay, go and see the record over there." After that, he turned around and left first. Looking at Shangguan's back, they all felt inexplicable, but Yunwu was thoughtful. It seems that Shangguan hesitated because of his father's attack, right? Yunwu, who was thinking about it, suddenly felt that the people around him held him in his arms. Then he thought of a low magnetic voice. "Don't worry, Shangguan will figure it out." Yunwu nodded, and then followed up with the others. On the hillside, the gorgeous sky has already turned into a spark of fire, just like before the battle. But now on the hillside, a large number of corpses of 10,000 beast men lie on the hillside as traces of fighting. Xiao Stink's swaggering body soars in the air, and the sound of Feng Ming shows his happiness and excitement. Below, the Phoenix people in human form are cheering and celebrating this victory. Well, Mama is coming. Xiao Stinky's body soared suddenly, looked up to the east, and then immediately turned into a human shape, rushed to the past. Mama! Before Cloud Dance's figure fell, he saw a streamer rushing towards him. Knowing that it was a Little Stink, he opened his hand and wanted to take him. Clinker, just ready to embrace posture, small stinky body just rushed over. A big hand directly from the side, a hug her waist. The next second, Cloud Dance will be brought into a strong arms. Little Stinky threw himself into the air. He almost fell down with too much force. After trying to stand firm, he turned his head and glared at the cloud-dancing dragon. His eyes almost burst into fire. "Don't let me warn you again. Pay attention to the difference between men and women." Long Qingxia's voice came coldly, and his eyes were not good at looking at Xiao Chou. Seems to be thinking about how to get the other side to get rid of this problem. How can you compete with me?" Little Stinky stares and looks at the dragon fiercely. But this expression does not match his present appearance. He looks like a tall teenager, but his words are childish. All right. Cloud Dance's headache came out to stop him, and he declared his belonging in the arms of Long Qingxia. "Now the Beast Gate has been solved, and our work has been completed. But your task is not finished." Cloud Dance fingers, pointing to the small stink, said. Little Smelly was stunned, then turned his mouth and said, "I know I'm the pure-blood demon Huang of the Phoenix family. Naturally, I want to contribute to the family. I will challenge the Dark Beast." Cloud Dance nodded with satisfaction. Unexpectedly, with the intelligence of Little Stinky, she could think of this. It seems that she has become more intelligent. Several people stood together, talking and laughing for a long time, seemed to be immersed in the joy of victory. But I didn't notice that there were many Fenghuang people on one side. Many of them were just like they wanted to talk, but because of their special identity, they didn't dare to interrupt. Now see, Cloud Dance and other people's dialogue is finally over. Finally someone nervous rubbed hands, came up. "Your Highness, there is the Mountain Palace." Yunwu turns to see a man waiting for her answer with red face and rubbing hands. His eyes are full of expectation and excitement. "In fact, I have guessed the result for a long time, but I must hear them say it in person to let go." Cloud Dance lightly a smile say, "We won. Mountain Palace took back." Great. We have a home. Our home is back. We've completely driven out the Beast Gate." The excited voice takes the position of Cloud Dance as the center, with huge rendering power, and the excited voice resounds through the whole world. If people just died and were immersed in the joy of victory, now they are really happy. Their home is back and everything belongs to them is back. "Thank you very much, Your Highness." Some people bowed 90 degrees in front of Yunwu again. They all knew that if not for the advice of the priesthood, how could they defeat the Beast Gate with so little fighting power? The mountain palace has been recaptured, and now things here are over. Go back as soon as possible and discuss the next step. Cloud Dance is not used to be so grateful, face calm but said to get rid of the words. Your Highness, please. People of the Phoenix family have long thought so. As soon as they heard Yunwu say so, they immediately respectfully said that they let Yunwu walk in front of the crowd to show respect. Yunwu walked in front with a few people impolitely, and took the lead to fly towards the mountain palace. Behind him, a group of phoenix directly incarnated into the original shape, and the gorgeous brilliance lit up the whole sky. In the east, the sun slowly rises. This dawn symbolizes the light. After fighting all night, the people returned to the mountain palace at dawn, and the Phoenix family finally returned to their home. And Cloud Dance, a few people also arranged residence respectively, treat with the treatment of guest of honor. Yunwu didn't feel much about it. He just went to the residence and went to sleep. The gate of the mountain palace is tightly closed. People who have been tired all night fall asleep. When they wake up, they still have a lot to do. I don't know if it's too much energy consumption. When Yunwu opened her eyes, it was the early morning of the next day. Yunwu was surprised that she had slept all day and night. I don't know if it's the reason why I haven't slept so comfortably for a long time. Yunwu gets out of bed and feels much better. Taking advantage of the sun has not yet risen. Simply directly in the room to practice up. When the sun rises, the mountain palace is slowly waking up. People who had enough rest began to clean up the aftermath of the war. Of course, this is not the Cloud Dance to worry about. Only when she went to the main hall of the Phoenix clan, she saw that Feng Huangnu was commanding the people to deal with everything in an orderly way, even the corpses of the 10,000 beasts. The former Feng Huangnu, who directed the country, once again showed her charm. See Cloud Dance come over. Feng Huangnu, even busy too late to speak, nodded to her, handwork and speed up a few minutes. Yunwu found a seat at random and sat down. Before long, other people came one after another. Mama. As soon as Xiaoqiu entered the door, he wanted to rush in, but his own mother was here. With the help of Long Qingxie, he finally turned away and sat down. By the time the Virgin Commander finished, an hour had passed. I'm sorry to neglect. There are too many things to pile up. Feng Huang smiles and waves to let irrelevant people all retreat. When the door of the main hall was closed, he came down from the main seat and sat down beside Yunwu. I know. Yunwu nodded. After all, it's a big battle. It's inevitable. Fortunately, she has nothing to do, so she just waits here. 10,000 beastmen are extremely cunning. Although the war is over, we must search every corner carefully. I believe that there must be 10,000 beastmen in your mountain palace. Feng Huang Valung hastily nodded way. The priest says of good, I unexpectedly didn't think of. After that, he immediately called people in and ordered them to go out again. Your Highness, although you said that you would not interfere in the race struggle, I think I have to tell you about it. Feng Huang said with a smile. When Yunwu came out of the hall, he didn't go back to where he lived. On the contrary, he and Long Qingxie wandered in the mountain palace. Although the Beast Gate has been defeated, today's Phoenix clan is still shrouded in the air of darkness and death. There is no grass on the ground. There is a dark smell floating in the air, and the sky is black. Although there is a sun hanging in the air, it does not make people feel warm at all. In addition to the busy Phoenix people who come and go to add a bit of life here, otherwise, it's really like a hell among people. She knew in her heart that if she didn't defeat he, it would be the same situation for the Phoenix from now on. Although the evil beasts of darkness have perished, there is only he now. But now he is controlled by the Beast Gate and lost his memory, which is also a challenge between races. It's just that the relationship between Xiaoqiu and he is Cloud Dance bowed her head and walked in Dragon Qingxia's side without saying a word. The words that Feng Huang said just now appeared in her mind. 3 days later, race challenges. It's up to the Phoenix to guard the beast against the dark beast. Cloud Dance sighed, although said don't want to intervene, but in the heart still can't help but worry. As the guardian beast of the Phoenix family, Xiao Xiaoqiu is also a pure-blood demon Huang. It is reasonable for him to fight on behalf of the Phoenix family. However, she can clearly feel the strength of the dark beast. In addition, he is the father of Little Stink, but now he has lost his memory under the control of the Beast Gate. Can Little Stink be his opponent? At this moment, Yunwu is still worried. How could Long Qingxia not understand her mind? Looking at the side of the little woman frowning all the way thinking about the appearance, can't help but some heartache. Don't worry. You know that guy's blood. His skill is not simple. Don't worry about it. Cloud dance along, look up to the dragon poor evil. How strange is the pure blood demon Huang. It may not be a single one for hundreds of years. If it's just a general skill, how can it be regarded as a guardian beast by the Phoenix people who pay so much attention to inheritance? Long Qingxia narrowed his eyes and said, "What's more, that day you asked him to take people to stop the Dharma guards, but he was able to kill all the people of the beast sect in a short time. Just this kung fu, do you think it can be done with ordinary strength?" Cloud Dance tilted his head and looked at the dragon. He could not help but spread his frown. Even a smile on the corner of his mouth. "You say that, I think it's true. So you don't have to worry so much. At least, no one in the whole Phoenix clan is his opponent. He is the only one who represents the Phoenix clan." Yunwu takes a deep breath and tries to suppress the worry in her heart. Since it's no use worrying, try to believe him. However, this man seems to be a bit unfathomable. How many things does he have that she hasn't found? Time flies and 3 days are fleeting. Yunwu and others waited at the gate of the hall early in the morning. Most of the people gathered here today are important figures in the Phoenix clan. If they were placed elsewhere, their identities would be different. But at this time these people are neatly standing here, obediently waiting for the appearance of that person. Even after waiting for a long time, there is still no one to voice dissatisfaction. For a long time, the sun slowly rises, adding a little light to the world full of dead air, but the dark atmosphere in the air cannot be removed anyway. The figure of a young boy finally appeared in the eyes of the public, slowly and forcefully towards the public. At the moment when the young figure appeared, the Phoenix people standing around knelt down one after another, and gave the figure a supreme gift. Yunwu and others stood aside, staggering the kneeling Phoenix people, silently looking at the figure coming. Small Stink all the way to Cloud Dance in front of, gently smile said, "Don't worry Hemp, I will win back." Feng Huang stood aside. Her eyes could not stop worrying, but she had a trace of pride and expectation. This is her child and the representative of the whole Phoenix family. Saving the Phoenix family is his responsibility and obligation. Yunwu nodded faintly, trying to suppress the surging emotion in his heart. She believes Little Stink must be the winner. Little Stink then turned to Feng Huang and looked at her worried mother. With a grin, she reached forward and gave Feng Huang a big hug. "Mother, don't worry, I'll win." Feng Huang burst into tears and hugged the person in her arms. Yunwu turns her head and pretends not to see this scene. She is used to action and is not used to this kind of behavior. The inexplicable feeling in her heart also makes her very uncomfortable. After saying goodbye to everyone one by one, Little Stink directly incarnates in the prototype. The golden wings spread out, the beautiful feathers on the phoenix head were shining. The long phoenix tail pulled out a beautiful radian, raised his head and roared to the sky, with incomparable prestige and nobility. This is the nobleness in the bones of the Phoenix family, and also the nobleness of his pure blood demon Huang. The golden phoenix circled 3 times above the mountain palace, and the high voice of the phoenix spread to every corner. Then, it directly turned into a streamer and flew to the distance. "We follow," Cloud lightly said, and then the first to start, chasing the direction of the phoenix left. Behind him, a group of Fenghuang clansmen and friends followed one after another. Race challenge. How can we let the guardian beast go alone? They are his strongest backing. Whether they win or lose, they have to see with their own eyes. Phoenix's speed is extremely fast, but it took an hour to reach the challenging hillside, and there was a figure waiting on the hillside for a long time. The golden phoenix landed directly on the hillside and stood opposite the man. The two of them just face off. Although the dark beast lost his memory, Others clearly remember what the relationship between them was. When Feng Huangnu saw the confrontation between them, she could not help frowning and looking at the man. Her eyes could not help showing some inexplicable feelings. If it wasn't for the Gate of Beasts, how could it be now? They are father and son. At the thought of this, Feng Huang would like to catch those people from the Beast Gate and kill them again. But now those people are dead. This hate can only be buried in my heart. I'm afraid that only the day when the Beast Gate is destroyed, this hate can disappear. Well, I came so late. I didn't think it was possible to win, so I didn't dare to come? The dark beast stares at the little stink opposite and says coldly. Looking at the little stink in front of him, the dark beast frowned. I don't know why. He always feels that little stink makes him feel very different, but he can't remember why. Maybe this is the so-called blood connection between father and son. On hearing this, Xiao Smelly put on a smelly face and said, I'm afraid of you? I don't know how you will be beaten down by me later. If you know what's interesting, you'd better surrender and be punished. I'll untie your memory, and you'll know how stupid you are doing now. Even though he knew that this man was his own father, such a father really made him unable to love. On hearing this, the dark beast narrowed his eyes dangerously. Beyond my ability, I want to see who beat whom down. After that, the black fog suddenly emerged, wrapped the human body, and then spread around, as if something terrible was gestating. When the fog dispersed, a huge and strange-looking warcraft appeared in front of the crowd. At the same time, there was a more intense dark atmosphere full of weather, as if his appearance made the atmosphere more than several times stronger. Little Stink snorted, and his body glittered with gold. Just like the dark beast, it directly turned into Numenon. The huge golden phoenix appears in the sky, which is totally different from the dark beast. The golden phoenix is very fast and light, shining with golden light, just like a god beast from heaven. However, the dark beast is strong and huge, and it has a ferocious atmosphere when it moves. It seems that one slap can subvert heaven and earth. Looking at such a gap, Feng Huang couldn't help worrying. The world's martial arts can't be broken fast. In this way, Little Stink has some advantages. The cold voice of Cloud Dance comes at the right time. Feng Huang was stunned. She turned her head and saw that the other side's line of sight was always on the battle, as if the sentence just now was just a comment on the battle. But in any case, my heart is indeed a little comfort. On the hillside, two huge warcraft flew directly into the sky. The dark beast is surrounded by fog, which is full of dead air. Inadvertently, a little fog appears on the surrounding hillside. The soil turns black instantly, and even the withered and yellow plants are directly corroded. Little Stink is not weak. The golden light seems to have a natural restraint on the black fog. Where the golden light shines, the black fog has no place to live. It can only retreat again and again, as if it had met heaven and earth. Little Stink is very fast. Every time the dark beast's attack falls down, he clearly sees the attack, but Little Stink's body flashes, leaving a golden shadow in the air. Several attacks of the dark beast didn't fall on him. Instead, the golden light was shining and turned into a sharp sword. With the sound of foaming, he stabbed the dark beast and scattered the black fog. He looked rather embarrassed. Seeing this scene, people watching the war from a distance were relieved at last. No matter how powerful the dark beast is, he has been imprisoned for a long time. In addition, one woman wants to control and seal his memory, which appropriately reduces his strength. At this time, he does not have the original strength, and this is the situation. Long Qingxia suddenly said with a smile. From the beginning, he had no doubt about the outcome of the battle. Cloud Dance Pick Eyebrow saw him. Originally this man, in the heart, had already measured. It's just that all the evil beasts in the dark have been destroyed, but he has survived. In the final analysis, there are some means. I'm afraid we can only know what they are. The people of the Phoenix family listened to the comments of these two people, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. In the distant sky, the battle entered a white-hot state in this process. The two warcraft do not know tired general, short 2 hours then fight, do not know how many times. The golden phoenix finally suffered a little damage, But the relative dark beast was much more embarrassed. The place where the golden sword cut could not heal automatically. Until then, he realized that the golden phoenix in front of him was really his nemesis. Two colors of light entangle together, two kinds of breath collide, causing the energy in one side of the world to vibrate, as if the earthquake came, the roar of nature. This battle lasted 3 days and 3 nights. The two men seemed to have no sense of exhaustion. They would not die if they could not tell the difference between them. Standing in the distance to watch the people, also staring at the front of the battle, no one said anything to disturb. The speed of Golden Phoenix seems to slow down, but compared with the Dark Beast, his speed is still an advantage. Damn it, the Dark Beast roared. I don't know how many times the Golden Phoenix has evaded the attack. The opponent seems to know that his strength is not as good as his own. So he just dodged and used the gap to hurt him. He had been fighting for 3 days and 3 nights. There were more and more wounds on his body, and the fog around him was thinner and thinner. However, in contrast to the Golden Phoenix, in addition to its slower speed, it has become more and more courageous. The number of attacks is increasing. Sometimes, it even has to leave damage on him even at the expense of taking the attack. At this time, if the Dark Beast keeps his hand, he will never see the sun tomorrow. At the moment, the huge body of the Dark Beast moved and retreated several steps backward. The pupil of Cloud Dance suddenly constricts, say suddenly. He will be angry. In a simple word, the Phoenix people's heart suddenly raised. Even more eyes blink, also do not blink, staring at the front of the battle to see, for fear of accidentally missing something. Little Smelly also saw the intention of the Dark Beast. Even if the other side deliberately distanced himself, he didn't stop him. Instead, he stood there with a pair of golden eyes staring at the Dark Beast, and the golden light around him was more gorgeous. I can see that the fog around the Dark Beast becomes more intense in a moment, just like when it turns into a prototype, wrapping its body, and the fog is still spreading. Then, when it diffuses to a certain point, the fog quickly recovers as if it had life. At the same time, it also recovers the dark death in the air. Cloud Dance and others stare big eyes, can't believe looking at everything in front of. Oh. The dark breath gathered in front of the Dark Beast, forming a vortex, like a black hole, constantly sucking everything in heaven and earth. Everything that's sucked and doesn't know where it's going. Even Yunwu and others standing in the distance can feel the strong suction, quickly stabilize their body, so that they will not be sucked away by the suction. At this time, if the little stink is human, it must be frowning tightly. At this time, the Golden Phoenix is looking at the black hole with its head tilted. Its body is shining with golden light, and it seems to be thinking about what it is. Hoo-hoo, the suction is getting stronger and stronger. Even the dust and trees on the ground are all sucked in. But the little stink opposite to the black hole was still motionless, only the wings flapping constantly, which showed that he was still at ease. After watching the black hole for a long time, the little stink suddenly brightened up. For a moment he was in full bloom, if he was just wrapped by the golden light. In this second, he was like a slowly rising sun. The light on his body was enough to illuminate all things. Even the dark sky was driven back a lot of darkness under the golden light. It's something that even the sun didn't do. Little Stinky's wings beat faster and faster, but his body shape was still fixed in that place, neither forward nor backward, between the golden bloom. Ouch! The little stink roared up to the sky, and the sound of foaming spread to every inch of the land in the Phoenix world. The Dark Beast was shocked and quickly increased its suction. Until the power in the air seemed to be drained, the powerful suction stopped abruptly. The black hole, which absorbed a lot of power, shrank slowly and finally formed a black energy ball, crystal clear black, giving people a strange feeling. The Dark Beast looked coldly at the little stink wrapped in a piece of golden light. The next moment, the beast's claw lift, the black ball directly toward the small stink hit. No! The Phoenix girl cried with blood, just like the cuckoo crying blood. She turned into a prototype and wanted to rush up. The Virgin is in danger. Don't go there. The elder of the Phoenix clan came forward to stop him. The high voice of foaming, with unprecedented sadness, resounds through the world. The little stink, which was covered by the golden light, but without any cowardice, directly hit the black ball. The moment they collided, it exploded. Like a natural disaster. The whole land of the Phoenix world vibrated violently. Even Yunwu and others in the center of deep vibration can hardly stand. And the Fenghuang who wanted to rush up was also stopped by the elders. At this time, a group of people stood together. Yunwu put up a protective cover to protect everyone, looking at the front coldly. At the center of the explosion, a burst of dust flew up. At this moment, all the things sucked in by the black hole spewed out. The dark death gas in the air that had just been sucked away was restored at this moment. It's so gray that we can't see the war situation clearly. The dust is flying outside the shield. Just looking at it, you can feel how powerful the energy is. Yunwu clenched her teeth and supported the shield. Suddenly, she felt the pressure decreased instantly and looked up. I saw another layer of protective cover directly shrouded in their own protective cover, will protect everyone inside. Behind him, Long Qingxia had no choice but to look evil. Little thing, it's not good to be so brave. Finally, the dust slowly dispersed, the two huge figures disappeared, and the whole battle slope was directly flattened. On the flat ground, the figure of an adult man appeared in it. This is Did You Lose? Fenghuang stares at the explosion center and eagerly looks for her child. But I didn't find anything. Finally, I uttered this sentence in despair. Lost. The elders of the Phoenix clan also looked there. For a moment, I didn't know what to do. Even the shield disappeared, and the wind blew on my face. Yunwu held his fist tightly and stared at the war situation in front of him. He could hardly believe what he saw. It's obvious that life wants to see people and death wants to see corpses. But now why can't you even see his figure? After all what happened? How dare a little phoenix challenge me? The dark beast stood on the hillside and looked up coldly at the place where Xiaoqiu was just now. He tried to suppress his sadness. A sneer came from the corner of his mouth. Do you think that with your golden light, I can stop the blow of swallowing the sky and spitting the earth? What a delusion! Fenghuang stood in the distance, trembling all over. Her eyes were red and pointed to the dark beast in the distance. Even her voice was trembling. You killed your own child. Unfortunately, she was too far away, and her weak body needed the support of the people to be able to barely stand firm. She wanted to go forward to question, but in any case she could not move. Yunwu frowned, and everyone around her was immersed in sadness, but she was calm after a short surprise. How could you die? He is a pure blood demon Huang, and the unique perception between his heart and Xiaoqiu has not been broken because of the contract. So Xiaoqiu is still alive, just can't see him for the moment. But where is it? Cloud Dance squints her eyes and looks for him carefully. The dragon around her looks at him, and the evil spirit in the corner of her mouth starts. Obviously, he saw better than anyone else. Standing on the hillside for a long time, the dark beast suddenly turned his head and squinted at the people nearby. A cruel smile came from the corner of his mouth. Phoenix, this is the end. The next second, the dark beast step by step toward the direction of the people came. The black fog around the whole body makes the dead air in the sky more intense. Fenghuang trembled and couldn't speak. She felt heartache and wanted to die like this. The pain of killing one's own son by the one you love is beyond others' understanding, but just then, who allowed you to touch them? The cold voice suddenly rang out. The dark beast turned back fiercely. I saw just now empty air. Suddenly appeared a pinch of small flames. In this dark environment is extremely dazzling. Yunwu was relieved, he didn't die. Fenghuang trembled all over her body. She couldn't believe it. She looked at the fire that suddenly appeared. She was drowned in ecstasy for a moment. Child, my child is not dead. Is he okay? Like, don't believe this thing in general. Fenghuang excited clenched the people around the arm. As if afraid that all this is just a dream. The moment before also immersed in pain. This moment will be a huge surprise submerged. The dark beast stares at the sudden fire. Cold eyes flash a surprise, also can't believe it. I saw that the red flame color is very pure, like blood in the air, without any strength support. There is no medium to burn, as if only the air can be burned. The air of darkness and death in the environment retreats one after another when it comes into contact with the red flame, just like meeting heaven and earth, leaving a large area of fresh air around the flame. The face of the dark beast sank. I can't see it. You're very difficult. Then, there is no doubt that the palm in front of the rapid changes. As with an ancient mark in general, a strong dark breath suddenly emerged. Toward the fire mercilessly pressure passed. As soon as the breath of black came into contact with the red, it was like a heaven-swallowing warcraft, directly swallowing the red. Chirp! In the black fog, the red flame is like a boat in the ocean. It has no resistance, and can only rely on its own bitches to persevere. See this. Feng Huang and others can't help but raise their heart to their throat. The dark beast frowned tightly. Although there was no reaction to the red, he could clearly feel that his attack had no effect on the red. What's going on? The dark beast's eyes narrowed slightly. The next moment, increased the attack again, more violent black energy toward the red package. Desperately want to devour it. All of a sudden, everyone exclaimed. Zizi. I saw that just now a faint beat of the red flame suddenly burned up. The beating range is increasing, and the wrapped black fog, on the contrary, seems to increase the nutrients for it, which constantly raises the red flame. The black fog, which seemed to be in a state of suppression, began to beat restlessly at this moment, as if it was alive, and it was biting the red. And red is not willing to let it go. All the black near itself are burned. The hot high temperature seems to be able to burn everything, such as blood. General Red finally swept the vast sky. As soon as the dark beast's eyes sank, he knew that he could not fight against it, so he quickly wanted to withdraw the fog back. But the next moment, the red flame, as if conscious, suddenly expanded its scope, enveloping the fog that it wanted to withdraw. In an instant, the situation became anti-killing. The black fog seemed to be running for his life, but the red flame did not let go. Everyone seemed to hear the sad cry of the black fog, and lost all the resistance under the pursuit of the red flame. The natural power of the natural red flame is not small. Occasionally, the escaping fog is also stained with sparks, and then burned by the flame. The red flame grew bigger and bigger, and eventually formed a sea of fire, and the black fog died in the sea of fire, turned into its nutrients. Red as blood, reflecting the whole sky red. In the sky above the sea of fire, the long-standing dark air of death was burned out. The dark beast was so surprised that he quickly stepped back for fear that he might be infected with the fire. The flame is too fierce. If it gets infected, it will die in the sea of fire in the next moment. The sea of fire continues to expand, and when it expands to a certain extent, it finally stops expanding. Ah! Burning flame, suddenly came out a loud foaming, breaking through the sky. This is Phoenix Nirvana, rebirth, break and then stand. Cloud Dance opened her eyes and looked at all this, with a shock rarely seen in the past. Originally thought that when she turned into pure blood demon Huang, Small Stink was already Nirvana, but did not expect that the original pure blood demon Huang could Nirvana again in extreme danger. This scene also let the present people are surprised to tremble. How could it be? The dark beast widened his eyes and looked at all this strangely, almost shouting. It's clear that he just killed the phoenix with that blow. Why is it more severe than before when he appears again? The golden phoenix sets off the red light of fire. After that loud and clear sound, it spreads its wings and soars from the sea of fire, flying towards the air with the momentum of skyrocketing. Compared with before, the golden phoenix in Xiangzai is bigger. The beautiful phoenix tail drags out the arc of taste, leaving traces in the air for a long time as popular. Even the golden light on the body is more dazzling than before. With the fiery red light, it shakes everyone's heart. The golden phoenix soars around and suddenly rushes into the sea of fire again. Then, the people saw that the burning fire on the hand of the dark beast suddenly and slowly became smaller, and finally revealed the phoenix figure hidden in it. They polished their eyes and looked at it carefully. They saw that the phoenix was opening a mouth, swallowing all the flames into his stomach. The red flame, which had been unable to resist the black fog, was swallowed into the stomach of the phoenix. However, looking at the appearance of the phoenix, I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. At this moment, The heart of the dark beast has been stained with a sense of defeat. But the pride of that race does not allow him to fail. No matter whether he can fight, he will fight. Ouch! The red sea of fire was finally engulfed, and the golden phoenix roared up to the sky. Then a pair of beast eyes looked at the figure standing on one side, eyes calm, but with a sense of superior. It seems that after experiencing the nirvana just now, it has become more calm. For a moment, the dark beast felt that he was no longer facing the phoenix he hated, but his own emperor. In front of him, he had no resistance. But the fight continued, and the feeling lasted only a moment. Ow! Then the golden phoenix flew into the sky. The next moment, the whole body of the golden light, a faint red. The dark beast was surprised, which reflected that he was still fighting. He quickly picked up the black energy and wrapped himself up. Roar! A huge roar burst out of the air. I saw that the evil beast of darkness appeared again in front of the public. Just this time, as soon as the body appeared, the golden phoenix opened the mouth of the beast in his direction. A group of fiery red flames, like blood, spat out directly, and rushed to the dark beast with extremely fierce momentum. The dark beast was caught off guard. Knowing the strength of the flame, he summoned a lot of black energy and formed energy barriers in front of him to protect himself. At the same time, he kept retreating, and his huge body stepped on the ground, causing a burst of collapse every time. Good strong. Yes, yes. Everyone opened their eyes to see all this, and all their hearts were raised to their voices. Success or failure depends on this. The bright red flame with a fierce momentum hit the black energy cover, and there was no other cold attack. At the moment of contact, it suddenly turned into a sea of fire, burning the black energy cover directly. What can't burn a flame that can be ignited by air? See this scene, Cloud Dance eyebrow a pick, the first time Proud whispered. Did not expect, small stink has evolved to such a strong point. The dragon leans evil spirit to smile, stretch out hand upstairs her thin waist. My woman is very special, how can her contract beast be vulgar? Don't you think so? Little thing. Smell speech. Cloud Dance helplessly glanced at the man nearby one eye. However, the bottom of my heart because of his words, and some joy. In any case, she will not allow her partner to be hurt. Of course, she is happy that little stink has evolved like this. That side. The dark beast knows this in his heart, but he can hardly think of what he can do except to resist. He can only erect the energy shield again and again. Once it slows down a little, the flame will burn to his body. One by one, all the defenses were burned by the fire, and the color of the fire was more bright red. The golden phoenix followed, flying leisurely in the air everywhere, adding a fire from time to time, forming a sharp contrast with the dark beast in distress. The sound of the phoenix was extremely loud, even a little happy. Damn it! Don't be too arrogant, the roar spread, and the dark beast released another black energy. Just this time, just released, suddenly there was a large red in front of him, directly burning the energy he just released. Then large red flames came to him and devoured him mercilessly, just as the previous explosion devoured the golden phoenix. This time, it was the huge body of the dark beast that was engulfed. See only, that huge body seems to have no resistance to the red flame. But in a moment he swallowed up the huge body. The phoenix girl in the distance closed her eyes and couldn't bear to see this scene. It's a race challenge. It doesn't stop. As the saint of the Phoenix clan, she should not stand on the side of the dark beast, but at this time of this kind of ending, she is doomed to be unable to watch their father and son fratricidal. And he can do nothing in the side. Under the control of the golden phoenix, the flame shrank a little, but the huge body of the dark beast could not be seen. While waiting for people cannot help but eyes a bright. In addition to Feng Huingv, all people cannot help but issued a strong cheering. We won. Great! The dark beast is dead. It's worthy of being the pure blood demon Huang of our Phoenix clan. He was defeated as expected. Excited voice resounded in this world. Only the corner of Feng Huingv's mouth showed a wry smile. After all, we have come to this stage. The flame finally shrank, but the golden phoenix did not turn into a human. The mouth of the beast opened, and the last bit of flame was sucked into the mouth of the beast. And in the fire, a black figure appeared in front of the crowd. His hair was scattered, his clothes were broken, and his face was dusty, as if he had been seriously injured. At the moment when the flame was removed, the man looked up at the phoenix in the sky. His lips moved slightly, his hoarse voice issued the syllable of child, and then he fell to the ground heavily. This. The Fenghuang people, who were cheering just now, were all stunned at this moment. They didn't know what was going on. Was it the flame that didn't work for him? But the golden phoenix in the sky understood the shape of his mouth, and clearly knew what was going on. Also saw the dark evil beast mouth type as Feng Huangnu. At this moment, she finally can't bear, pushed away the people who stopped her, directly rushed up. Saint, the Virgin is in danger. Don't go there. That's a dark beast. A voice of obstruction rings out, and the elders all want to reach out and stop Feng Huangnu. But no one succeeded, and even someone chased up, but after a distance, they stopped abruptly. They didn't have the courage to face the dark beast. Cloud Dance, a corner of the mouth hook, softly said, "Go, let's go to have a look." After that, take the lead to fly in the direction of Small Stink. Behind him, the dragon's evil nature did not need to say, directly followed up. As for Shangguan, she can trust Yunwu completely. Since she can easily decide to go in the past, it shows that the dark beast is not afraid. They can be very assured of Cloud Dance, so one by one toward the other. Feng Huang's figure fell directly on the side of the dark beast. Looking at the dark beast lying on the ground, she felt a twinkling of heartache. Behind him, the figure of Cloud Dance also fell down one after another. Just for their convenience, I didn't go forward, just looked at it from a distance. Feng Huangvan doesn't care, slowly goes forward, squats down beside the man. Feel the man's weak breath, not from the heart of a sigh of relief. Fortunately, although seriously injured, but with the ability of the dark beast, it is not a trouble to repair. Do you remember me? The corner of Feng Huang's mouth showed a smile, raised her hand to trim her hair for the man on the ground, and her eyes showed inexplicable feelings. You've forgotten me for a long time, and I thought you'd never remember again. You forget not only me, but our children, but just now, I saw you call him, so you must remember me, right? Feng Huang said sincerely that she didn't have any taboo about being a saint, but with the dark people. At this time, what else does she need to avoid? The golden phoenix falls from the sky and turns into a human shape at the moment of landing. This time, surprisingly, he didn't rush to the clouds. Instead, he slowly went to Feng Huang and the dark beast. Until he walked in, a few people were surprised to find that the little stink had grown higher. At this time, he is like an 18-year-old young man with beautiful features. Even the expression on his face has become more mature. He is no longer the young man who has grown tall and has no intelligence. Cloud Dance, a few people didn't make a sound to disturb, so quietly stand by and watch their family reunion. However, there are some things they have to ask, such as how does little Stink get his memory back? Don't worry, he's okay, just a little hurt. Little Stink squatted down beside Feng Huang and said awkwardly, "Although it's a pleasure to defeat the dark beast, little Stinky is proud to think that he is beating his own father. And this father has never recognized him, so now he will not take the initiative to call him." Phoenix Woman listened to the words in her ears and nodded. Until then, seeing the crowd around, those Phoenix people who followed finally felt safe and ran to see what happened. Ah, he's not dead yet? What? Is the dark beast still alive? How is that going to work? Saint, kill him now, or you will do evil in the future. It's a disaster for the Phoenix family. Yes, Saint, let's do it quickly. For a moment, everyone around him looked worried. Although the dark beast is lying on the ground now, they are still afraid that the other party will stand up and beat them unprepared. They will not be able to live in peace without hearing the news of the other party's death. Little Stinky frowned, and a touch of displeasure flashed across his face. How could his father be killed when others say it? At the moment he wanted to stand up and attack, but was stopped by Feng Huang. Feng Huang stood up, cold eyes swept people's faces. Those people finally shut up, waiting for Feng Huang to give them a reasonable explanation. Feng Huangnu sighed in her heart. She knew that the evil beasts of the dark had done a lot of evil and had a great influence on her people, but that's not his original intention. When we were together, we said that we would not hurt the Phoenix people. This period of time, it was also because of the people of the 10,000 Beast sect. But how do you say these words to your own people? As the Saint of Phoenix, how can she speak for her enemies? Feng Huangnu was sad in her heart, but she had to make a cold appearance on her face. When I knew that I was talking for the Dark Beast, I suddenly had a plan in my heart. The healing ability of the Dark Clan is very strong. And don't forget that he is a holy beast in the Dark Beast clan. He can't be killed. Otherwise, the original priests would not seal him. Do you think we can kill him just by us? Cold voice rang, so that those excited Phoenix people suddenly realized this problem. Yes, in the heyday of the Phoenix clan, they just sealed him. Now the Phoenix clan is not as good as before. How can they kill him? But just now the firepower of the Golden Phoenix is clear to all. Is there no way to do it? For a moment, people all cast their eyes on Xiaoqiu. Feeling the sight of the crowd, little Stink couldn't help but curl his mouth. That's his father. How could he kill him? But I also knew that it was impossible to say this, so I nodded and said, "My flame can't kill him. You don't have to look at me. Didn't you see it just now? Even if he is engulfed by the fire, it's just that he doesn't show himself." Listening to this, the elders of the Phoenix clan couldn't help but feel lost. They also know the identity of Little Stink and the Dark Beast, but just now we all believe what Little Stink said. Not so much. Feng Huangnu said again. Please take him back, shut him up in the clan, step up the care, find a way in the future, and then make a further decision. The elders looked at each other. Would it be too risky to take such a dangerous person back? Saint, this where are you going to take it back? Are you not afraid of? The following words didn't go on, but everyone present knew what it meant. Feng Huangnu frowned and said, "If you don't take it back, will you let him heal outside? What's more, he has to take back the dark air of death in the Phoenix clan. Take the Hui people to look after them carefully, and we'll find a way as soon as possible." After listening to Feng Huangnu's words, they nodded. Cloud Dance and others have been standing by and watching, without the slightest intention to intervene. After all, it's a family affair. Although it's in the name of a high priest, Yunwu is just a human. Although the Phoenix family turned to her as a priest, when they were in trouble, they were not really members of the Phoenix family after all. Therefore, it is not appropriate to intervene. Half a ring. When they had discussed it, Yunwu turned around and went back with them. The battle lasted 3 days and 3 nights. It was the 4th day when the people returned to Feng Huangshan Palace. From afar, we can see the people of Feng Huang looking at each other from afar, waiting for their return. When the figure of Feng Huangnu and others appeared in the sight of the people, the cheering almost lifted the whole mountain palace out. Look, the Virgin is back. They are back safe and sound. So we won? They beat the Dark Beast? My God, I knew we would win. We are the Phoenix family. That's it. Thank God. Cheers resounded throughout the mountain palace. Feng Huangnu and others in the sky heard their voices from a distance. They could not help but feel some guilt. All the clansmen were waiting for them to defeat the Dark Beast, but she brought him back because of her selfishness, and she didn't know if the decision was right. Feng Huangnu didn't stay, so she flew directly to the main hall of the mountain palace. Several figures fall in the depth of the mountain palace. Feng Huangnu orders people to imprison the Dark Beast in an orderly way. Yunwu saw that the matter was over, so she turned to go back. "Mama, how am I doing today?" As soon as he turned around, a man's voice came from behind. It's clear that it's a cold voice, but when it comes to Cloud Dance, it's just like before. I feel strange. However, little Smelly didn't feel it at all. Instead, she ran forward and held the sleeves of Yunwu, waiting for praise. She felt uncomfortable with the other person's 18-year-old appearance. Long Qingxia quietly pulls out Yunwu's sleeve from his opponent's hand and holds Yunwu in his arms. Good performance. Your parents will praise you. The ruthless attack on the little Stink. The dragon tilts evil spirit to hook the lips to smile, then turns to want to go, directly ignores the little Stink behind, staring at his eyes. Cloud Dance helplessly drags dragon to poor evil, raises an eye to look, discovers that the other party is also looking down at her with a face of deep feeling like water. The cloud dances the corner of mouth slightly to smoke. What idea is this man making? However, without waiting for Yunwu to speak, Long Qingxia turned his head to look at the little stink on his face and said, "I have something to ask you." Little Stinky frowned and looked at the dragon who occupied him. His voice was not very good. "What's the matter? How did you get him to remember? And are you sure his memory is restored? It won't be an accident if we bring it back like this?" Small Stinka listen, direct hum Ao Jiao say. "You also too despise me. How can I not be sure what I do?" That you're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.